A wicket for Australia to finish the match and regain the Ashes.
Don't miss a moment. England versus Australia.
On ABC Radio.
On Grandstand Digital and on the ABC Listen app.
Hello, I'm Ned Hall, and another chance for us to dip into the ABC Grandstand archives now and go back to one of the more incredible games of cricket in living memory. Fantastic test match, the second test of the 2005 Ashes series. Australia won the opening test of the series and a thrilling match played at Lord's went off to Edgbaston looking to enforce their lead. Then a mishap before play on the first day saw Glenn McGrath tread on a cricket ball in the outfield, twist his ankle and miss the test. The test match that followed after that was superb and culminated in one of the most dramatic, unbelievable finishes of all time. You can join our commentary team, Jim Maxwell, and the rest of the TMS team.
Here comes Kasparovich, he bowls to him and he's forward and he's edging and it goes on the bounce off a no ball to Hayden in the gully. I think it was a catch too. There was a roar from the crowd, the Australian section of it, weren't they noisy? But it was a no ball. So, again, Kasparovich having a problem on the front foot, and we can see his heel's not even on the line on that no ball, as Trescothick aimed at the ball. You think it went on the full?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, looks like it was a
Lehigh,
straightforward catch, yes. Kasparovich throwing his head back there as he'd heard the call. Warne bowls, Strauss is back, he's bowled. Chopped it into his stumps. And Warne's amazing. England were going along so well. And Strauss went back there. He was a bit tight on the cut. And maybe the influence of the man coming in close just caused a change of stroke. But Warne is extraordinary. He has got the first wicket of the innings here. He tried to cut a ball that was far too close. May have chopped it into his stumps. And Strauss is out for a very good 48, but England have lost a wicket. 1 for 112. Lee bowls to him, and he's forward and he's driving magnificently through the covers for another 4. Cop that. Oh, 18 from the last over before lunch. And England careering along here, despite the loss of Strauss, go in at 1 for 132, and the crowd are up and applauding. This has been a wonderful performance. 77 to Trescothick before lunch on the opening day of a test against the world champions. Admittedly, the champs without the gun bowler McGrath, but he has hit the ball supremely in this batting exhibition. And he raises his bat as he wanders off. And all around the ground, they're up applauding Marcus Trescothick. England sent in 1 for 132, 13 fours, 2 sixes, 89 of balls for his 77 runs.
He's on 90. In goes Kasparovich and bowls to outside. The off stump is caught behind. He reached for that. A little outside edge. And Gilchrist took the catch in front of first slip. And Trescothick will be furious about that. He was so well set. He had batted magnificently. That was a thoroughly innocuous delivery. It was pushed across him. It was wide. He followed it. And a dejected Trescothick pulls off his gloves, tugs off his helmet, mops his brow, and heads towards us and to the England dressing rooms, raising his bat. He's getting a standing ovation. But how disappointed will he be? 90 from 102 balls. It was a lovely innings. As Kasparovich moves in and bowls to him, and he's caught behind. Caught behind. Third ball. Bell has made 6. 2 4 out. And Gilchrist again took the catch there, moving to his right. And it wasn't a bad ball. It was just round about the right place. It moved away slightly off the seam. And Bell thoroughly disappointed as he becomes the second Englishman to trudge back in this same Kasparovich. Over 170 for 3.
In goes Gillespie, short, and it's hit high, down towards long leg. He should be caught by Lee, who's under it, and he takes the catch. Lee's taken the catch, a top edge stroke, and it soared into the air, almost up towards the dirigible. and down it came. Oh, and it came with some weights on it, and Lee got under it right on the line. It only needed a bit more way on it to carry the line, and Lee positioned himself and judged it superbly. Gillespie picks up the wicket of Michael Vaughan, and England have gone from a position of apparent strength at 1 for 164 to be looking a bit giddy at 4 for 187. Vaughan departs for 24.
In goes Lee, and he bowls it short, swung away by Flintoff, down to long leg, it's in the air, he's going to be caught, I reckon. Kastrovic can't quite get there. And they'll come back for a second as Kastrovic there, as he dived full length. Deflected the ball into a big gap out there. That wasn't a clever shot. It really wasn't. He got away with that. Maybe Kastrovic saw it a little bit late, but it cramped Flintoff. It wasn't a good stroke. And, well, Kastrovic, he did all but get there. And the ball landed about a foot or so in front of him. But Flintoff really shouldn't be falling for that trap.
Yeah, but he's only got one more over after this one, Baker, so...
This 50 over a side match. It's been played like it, isn't it? He's 34 not out. In goes Lee. He's there, bowls another bouncer. Oh, it's gone for 6. An amazing shot. He took his eye off that. It was a short-arm jab from off stump. And it startled a steward out there. He had no right to expect that would come whistling over his head. It was a remarkable shot. He wasn't looking at the ball when he hit that, but it went like an exocet over deep square leg and into the crowd who are miles away down there and away for 6.
Well, I've seen it all now. I mean, he was pulling out of that shot, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Vaughan bowls now, and Flintoff swings in the air, down the ground, straight towards the boundary. It goes for another 4. 6! It's gone for 6! How did that go for 6? He just bunted that over the top, and it's cleared the rope down at long off. The 6th 6 of the day. 4 for 263. This is extraordinary cricket. He bowls to Flintoff. Flintoff goes back, changes his stroke and hits it hard for 4 through the covers. And that is a half century to remember. He has thumped the bowling and he's getting an embrace from Peterson. Flintoff, 53 not out at 4 for 269.
48 balls, 4 sixes, 4 fours, 59 minutes.
Scintillating batting.
In goes Gillespie, a big jump, he bowls outside the off stump and Flintoff's out. He's caught behind, I heard it from here. And that's just the breakthrough that Australia wanted. And Gillespie, who's had a very difficult time on this tour, is the man who's made the breakthrough. Flintoff not moving his feet, pushed outside the off stump. The ball found the thinnest of outside edges, and Gilchrist took the catch, moving in front of first slip. It was a straightforward chance for him. He made no mistakes. And that's what Australia want. Flintoff's out for 68. And it's 290 for 5. Up comes Kastrovic. And bowls a good one. That's a very good one. Some extra bounce. And Jones has gone. Edging it to the keeper. And in the last 2 overs, we've seen 1 ball keep low. And 1 bounce more than the batsman expected. Kastrovic is delighted. He's taken his 3rd wicket. And England suddenly, from tea at 289 for 4, find themselves 293 for 6. And the Aussies know that that lower order is now exposed.
Charles Swipps hit on the pad and appeal for LBW. Out! This time, 3rd time lucky for Vaughan. He's had a few big shouts. I'll be interested to see that one. That may not have been as close as the others, but he went to wallop him away on the sweep shot, missed it, and this time the appeal was answered in the affirmative as the crooked finger of Billy Bowden went up. 7 for 342, and Giles, after a good contribution, is leg before to Vaughan for 23 as Lee travels in from the pavilion end. He bowls to Peterson, who swings this away, and he could be caught by Kadich. He's taken the catch in the deep, he's out. Kadich has taken a very good catch running in, and alas for Peterson, he didn't quite get the ball where he wanted, and he's picked out the fieldsman at deep mid-wicket. Lee celebrates for the wicket, and Peterson's good hand comes to an end. Out for 71. And it's 8 for 348 as Peterson gets the applause from a full house at Edgbaston. Just seemed to get a bit carried away with it all there. But a fine hand, out for 71.
Warne comes up and he bowls to Harmison, who's deceived there and he's bowled. Not quite sure what happened. The keeper was in the way. It looked a rather ugly shot from here. And Harmison's cameo has ended. Deceived by Warne, who's taken his third wicket today. And Harmison is out for 17. He's bowled. It's 375 for 9. He went for the sweep, got in a tangle, basically, and lost his off stump.
Warne bowls to Hoggard. Hoggard sweeps. How's that for LBW? Out! He was struck in front, and Hoggard's racing off the field to get ready to bowl because there will be 8 or 9 overs here, and England have made the most extraordinary first innings total inside the opening day of a test. All out for 407. Warne finishes with 4 for. And I think the Australians will be fairly pleased that England have been dismissed, because at times today it looked like they were going to make a lot more than 407. Harmison goes in again to Langer. Langer gets a bouncer, and where's that come from? It's gone up in the air off the helmet. Out to Bell in its short leg. He tried to duck, he didn't get out of the way. He's stunned by that blow. Bell running back took what the crowd thought was a catch, and Langer's just collecting his thoughts there. That was a very well-placed bouncer. Now Hoggard's bowling, and he's driving the ball, and he's caught at cover, first ball, straight to Vaughan. What a wicket. Well, that deployment of the field has paid off. He's hit the ball straight to short cover, and Matthew Hayden is out for a primary. It's 1 for none. A huge wicket for England. Hoggard is celebrating. It was just a length delivery, and he went to drive it, and he's hit it straight to the England captain. Strauss, sorry, yeah. Straight to Strauss out there in close. My goodness, what a start to the innings.
Here's Harmison again. It's short. Langer tries to pull. He's hit on the arm this time. It wasn't a particularly threatening ball, but rather than duck it, he tried to play it. And for the second time, Langer sinks to his knees. And Ponting comes down to make sure that he's okay.
Ponting's 47, 1 for 70. Jones goes up and bowls a full toss. That's hit for 4. Just as Hoggard moves straighter at mid-on, he overpitched. And this is a bit like Jones at Lords, who bowled some good overs and then was inconsistent. A 50 for Ricky Ponting, his first half-century of the series. He raises his bat to acknowledge the applause from a lot of the fans here. A big posse of golden-shirted Australians at the far end of the ground.
Ponting sweeps. Oh, he's going to be caught here. He's chipped it up to backward square leg. And Ashley Giles, oh, he's pointing to somebody now. He's delighted. His first wicket of the series is being mobbed, and he's getting a standing ovation from his adoring Warwickshire public. Ashley Giles strikes. He's taken the second wicket of the morning for England. And Ponting looks furious. Oh, he's kicking at the ground. As he comes walking off, he's out for 61, and Michael Vaughan took the catch at backwards square leg. Ponting is disgusted with himself. He's kicking at the ground as he walked off. He looked so well set.
Here comes Flintoff. Up to the wicket now, bowls to Martin. Oh, Martin plays that away to wide of mid-on. They scamper for a single, and Vaughan tries to his direct hit, and they think they've got him out, and umpire Bowden calls for the replay, but it was a marvellous piece of fielding there by Vaughan, and they seem to think, the England players, that they've run Martin out. Well, we'll have to see. Yes, and I think Martin also thinks he's out. He's walking, or he's coming down to the middle of the wicket. I thought for a moment he was walking off towards the pavilion. Well, all eyes to the replay screen. And the ball picked up, he's throwing off balance, yes, and he's out by some... Is he... Yes, he's out, not by some distance, by about 3 inches. That is exactly the break England wanted before lunch, goodness me. We haven't got the decision from the third umpire, Jeremy Lloyds, yet, but there's no doubt to my mind that that will be given out. He was only about an inch or two out, but that is good enough. A miss is as good as a mile, as they say. And the umpire Bowden, in fact, himself was in a perfect position to see, yes, he's been given out, Martin, run out for 20, thrown out by Vaughan. A marvellous piece of fielding, 118 for 3, and England really will be feeling jubilant at that. Now it's Hogarth who's come on at the pavilion end. He's coming in now to bowl to Langer. He's up to the wicket now. Now he bowls. Langer comes forward and drives, and he's going to get his 50. It's a misfielding there by England's captain, who dived to his right, couldn't stop the ball. He took the pace off it, and Langer has gone through for 2 runs. So he's gone to 51. An invaluable knock that for Australia. Very much out of character with the majority of the innings that have been played in this match. But he's held the innings together. 168 for 3 the score. Bill.
94 balls, 171 minutes, just 4 fours.
In comes Giles, fired through flat left, but if a caught behind, he's out. Ashley Giles takes his 2nd wicket. And he's delighted again. He's hugging everybody. Clark is out, swishing his bat in disappointment as he walks away, ripping off his gloves. And Ashley Giles has taken his 2nd wicket of the day. And Australia are 194 for 4, with Michael Clark, who have been playing so well, just nibbling outside the off stump, the faintest of edges. He was taken by Geraint Jones, and he's out for 40, 194 for 4.
And it must be some good piece of bowling. That was the arm ball.
Flintoff, he now back over the wicket to Cattidge, bowls, and he's caught behind. He's caught behind. Flintoff went back over the wicket, and Cattidge came forward, got the edge. Jones rolled across in front of Trescothick, took the catch, and Australia have lost their 5th wicket, 208 for 5. And my goodness me, with the tea interval coming up, England really wanted that.
Let's watch Jones. Gone over the wicket. There's an appeal play before wicket, and he's going to be out here. Langer is gone. He switched to over the wicket. The ball swung in a little bit reverse, I think. It was a Yorker-length delivery, full and straight. And Langer's resistance of 4 hours, 36 minutes. A bruise on the head, a thump in the solar plexus, and 82 runs is over. 261 for 6. It's been a very brave effort indeed.
And Giles, it is, up to the wicket now. He bowls, and Vaughan is going down the wicket. He's bowled. What an extraordinary way to get out. Vaughan went down, had a great big sloggeroo, heaving high towards the cherry picker, and was handsomely bowled. How quite extraordinary. What can you say about that, Henry?
When I get my breath back, I'll say something.
Right-ho. Until then, we'll tell you that Australia are now 273 for 7, and Vaughan will go off into the dressing room, and I don't suppose anyone will want to talk to him for a bit, and I doubt he'll want to be too pleased to talk to anyone either. Giles has got his 3rd wicket, but really, if ever I've seen a batsman committing suicide in a tight situation when it was imperative that he should stay there with the only recognised batsman, it was this. And yet, from a moment of sheer lunacy, took control of Vaughan.
Jones after drinks, because he's coming in now, and Lee is edging, and he's caught at 2nd slip by Flintoff. First ball after the resumption. Lee's out. Straightforward catch into the safe hands of Freddie Flintoff at 2nd slip, and he's jumped upon there by Simon Jones in celebration. It's 8 for 282, and Lee's on his way for 6.
Flintoff it is. He's in now. He's up to the wicket. He bowled. Oh, the attempted Yorker. And yes, he's gone. LBW. Gillespie's LBW. That was an absolute beauty. It was right in the block hole. Gillespie had no answer to that at all. It hit him on the toe, I should think. And he was plumb in front. And Rudy Kurtzin gave him the lingering death. The finger going up very, very, very slowly. But it did look, in quick motion at any rate, as though it was very plumb. And now he takes up his stance, and here's Flintoff. Coming in now to Kasparovich. He's up to the wicket now. He bowls. A Yorker, it's hit him plumb in front, and he's out. He's LBW first ball, and Australia are all out. out for 308, and Kasparovich, LBW, to another complete perfect replica of the ball before, which dismissed Gillespie. Kasparovich is out, LBW bowled Flintoff naught, and you could hardly wish to see two more perfect Yorkers in successive balls.
So Warne at Strauss. Strauss is bowled! Oh, bowled by a beauty! Pitched in the rough and turned a mile. And Strauss looks around and sees crash, the ball going into his stumps. Oh, that was Warne at his best. He's pitched in the rough and he's turned it a fair way. And he's knocked Strauss over for 6, 1 for 25.
And here's Lee running away from us. He's up to the wicket. He bowls and he's gone. Trescothick, he's gone. He's caught behind. He waved that outside the off stump. The first wicket has fallen, and Trescothick is the man out. The one man England did not want to lose. He's gone for 21. 27 for 2 is now the total. England's lead 126. 8 wickets left, and Trescothick departs head down, sadly, for the pavilion just to start Australia 1. Lee is in. Bowls now to Vaughan. He's there. Vaughan bowled him. He bowled him. He's going. One of his stumps has gone scooting back. He was caught on the crease just as he was at Lord's, and so 2 wickets have gone in this over. Vaughan, the England captain, is out. Bowled by Lee for 1. It wasn't a good stroke. He was neither back nor forward. He was just pushing from the crease, and it was a ball just under 90 miles an hour, 89.6 mph, and the Australians can hardly believe their luck. Here comes Lee in now, bowls to Hogarth, who goes back, and he's caught in the gully. It's caught low down by Hayden. He played it off the back foot, and Hayden took it with it at the backs of his hands on the ground, I would think, and Hogarth's resistance has ended, and England are 31 for 4. And talk about Calypso Collapso, this really is a disastrous start to the 3rd day for England. And it is Warne in again, bowls round the wicket, Peterson's right string, and there's a peel a catch behind, and he's given out, yes, he's gone, and that was a splendid one-handed, left-handed catch by Gilchrist. Peterson swept, he got the edge, it bobbled up only a tiny bit, and Gilchrist got his glove underneath it, and after a long thought, umpire Kurtzin, lingering death he is, raised his finger, and Peterson has gone. And just having a look at that one again, and I think it was glove, and he just, oh goodness me, Gilchrist swooped on that one quickly. A splendid piece of wicket-keeping. And here is Warne again in, gives us one some air, and Peel for a catch behind, and he's out, he's gone. He pushed forward, and it found the edge of the bat. Gilchrist was jumping down the wicket like a dervish, holding the ball aloft, and everyone, the Australian side, surrounding Warne. England have lost their 6th wicket. Bell is out for 21. Caught Gilchrist, bowled Warne, who's got himself into the book this morning. It's 75 for 6.
101 for 6. In goes Lee, and he's bowling. Oh, one that flies, and Jones is out. Oh, that's a second good ball he's had in the game. He could do nothing about that. It flew from a length. It took his glove, and he's been caught at second slip. And there was nothing at all Grant Jones could do about that. And while England will be devastated to have lost a wicket so early, there will be 1 or 2 eyebrows raised there in the dressing room saying, well, look at that. Look what that did. Because it wasn't particularly hostile. Lee's still warming up, as we've described in this over. But that flew from nowhere.
Forward goes Giles. He's caught it slip. Outside edge, straight to Hayden. And Giles has been done over by Warne's expertise there. A bit quicker, a leg break. He pushed forward. He kicks at the traces as he wanders off. Hayden having taken that sharp low chance. It's 8 for 131. It's Harmison after another discussion between Ponting and Warne, who gets ready to face his first ball. 8 for 131. Harmison comes forward, and an appeal for a catch in close. He's out. First ball, Warne's on a hat-trick. Ponting thrust up his left hand and grabbed the ball. It was spearing in towards Harmison's pads. He must have just got a nick as it flew out. It's 9 for 131, and Harmison, not for the first time in his career, joins the primary club. So Warne on 598 test wickets. He's on a hat-trick. And there are men all around the bat. And Warne just rubs away at the ball like a genie, a magician. Jones taps and waits. Will this be the hat-trick? Around the wicket, Warne bowls, and Jones gets a full and wide delivery. Anti-climax. Didn't have to play at that. He just pitched it too full and wide. He goes in again, and Flintoff walks across and swings into that. He's hit that over the line again for 6. No surprise. And Kastrovic has got to adjust here. Flintoff is having a big piece of him. He launched at the ball. And this is like the one days when poor old Michael Kastrovic was bowling at the deaths. And it's his half-century as well. His second half-century of the match. Tremendous all-round contribution from Andrew Flintoff here at 9 for 148.
Bretley it is in now to Flintoff. Flintoff heaves at that. It's gone over the pavilion. It's an enormous 6. My goodness me, that you won't see a bigger 6 in 100 years. It went right over the pavilion. I should think into the road behind. It was the most extraordinary stroke. And it went into the scaffolding on top of the pavilion, but it was a colossal blow. 168 for 9. Flintoff has now got 60. And what can you say about that? It was a terrific stroke.
In fact, it's come back. It's been through security and had the metal detectors after it. It's been out of the ground.
It was a colossal blow. I've got one sensational piece of news. Nigel Havers, after lunch, has rolled up his sleeves and become a news hound, and he went down to the players' loo, where he discovered that Flintoff's problem is that he's torn a muscle in his left shoulder. Wow. So that's very interesting. And he's bowling now to Flintoff. He's in, he bowls, Flintoff's down the wicket, he's bowled, and that's the end of it. Flintoff came down the wicket, tried to swing Warne out of the ground at mid-wicket, missed, and his leg stump's on the ground, the middle stump's almost on the ground, and England all out for 182. Flintoff bowled Warne to 73, and England's lead 281. Australia's target 282. And the members in front of us already standing to clap Flintoff and Jones off the field. Flintoff, with that pulled muscle in his left shoulder, raises his bat, takes off his helmet, and he and Jones together have done a wonderful job. They put on 51 for the last wicket, and Jones goes in trailing behind Flintoff.
He's on his way. He's there. He bowls to Langer. Oh, he's forward. Has he bowled him? Has he? He has bowled him. It's got through bat and pad. 3 and 4 balls for Andrew Flintoff. And he's broken through, injured shoulder or not. He has bowled Justin Langer. His off stump is leaning back. It's somehow crept through the gate. And England wanted a wicket. They've got one. It's 47 for 1 as Australia chase 282. Langer is out for 28. And looking at the replay, what did it come off? It came off his elbow and down into his stumps. Now he settles in. This is the last ball of the over. It's 48 for 1. And Flintoff goes roaring in again. He's there. He bowls to Ponting. Oh, my word, he's caught behind. Is he there? Yes, he is. He's caught behind. A fabulous over by Andrew Flintoff. A wonderful over. Has seen off Ricky Ponting after Justin Langer. He set him up perfectly. The short leg was there. He couldn't come forward. He pushed outside the off stump. And what a key wicket that is. And now there's some real belief here at Edgbaston that England can win this game. They've taken 2 wickets in a single over. It's their talisman Flintoff who's done it. A wonderful ball. It moved away off the seam. It was a jaffer, an absolute jaffer. And they all knew the edge had been found. Ponting disappears for a duck. 5 balls. You have to say 5 torrid deliveries.
And here is Jones again, in bowls to Hayden. Hayden's forward, and he's caught. He's brilliantly caught there by Trescothick at slip, who flung himself to his left, got it two-handed. Hayden has gone. 82 for 3, Australia now. Hayden out for 31. He reached for that one, which was slanted across him. It got the edge, and Trescothick, a big man, dived full length to his left, took the ball quite high, rolled over, and held on. And it was a splendid effort. Got both hands to it, and that is out. Hayden has gone. Australia 82 for 3.
What a terrific catch.
Here comes Hoggard, and Martin drives him beautifully. He's caught. He's chipped it to the onside. He's out. He hit it to Bell, and Bell's taken the catch. Martin's out. Hoggard gets a wicket with his first ball coming back on, and that's a big wicket too. Well, 4 for 107, and he's out for 28.
Here comes Giles again, up to the wicket, bowls to Katish. Katish goes back, and he's caught and slipped by Trescothick at second attempt. He went back, he probably should have gone forward, and it went into Trescothick's hands. It bobbled out, but he then hung on to the rebound, and Australia have lost their 5th wicket. Katish has gone for 16, and really that is exactly what the doctor ordered for England tonight. As Giles is in once more, over the wicket, he bowls, and he's down the wicket, he's caught, he's out, Gilchrist has been caught by Flintoff there at mid-on. He came down the wicket, and that is really the massive strike that England wanted. 136 for 6. Gilchrist couldn't restrain himself. He took a pace down the wicket to Giles, hit it low to Flintoff at mid-on, and Australia are 136 for 6. Gilchrist has gone for just a single. And here is Flintoff in, bowls now to Gillespie. It's the Yorker, and he's hit him in front, and he's LBW. It's an absolute repeat of what happened yesterday. It was the perfect Yorker. Gillespie couldn't get down on it, and he is out. LBW to Flintoff for naught, and Australia are now 137 for 7. And who could believe it, that he could repeat it absolutely exactly.
In comes Harmison, and he bowls a slower ball. He's bowled him! What an amazing delivery! That is absolutely stunning! Clark has been bowled by a loopy, slower ball. He was softened up by 3 balls of searing pace. He fended 2 off his nose, and then in the most extraordinary bluff, Harmison bowled a ball, well, slower than Ashley Giles, I reckon. It completely deceived Clark. It just about knocked the bails off. It was an extraordinary piece of bowling. And that really does put the game back England's way again. 174 for 8. It was a very good innings from Clark. But it's come to an end. And that is one of the most extraordinary pieces of bowling I think I've seen. And the crowd all on their feet to applaud England. Look at them there in the Hollies stand. Thousands of them clapping with their hands above their heads all round the ground. Even the Aussies down there in their gold shirts, Merv Hughes' mob, they're on their feet. It's been an amazing day's cricket. And one that has very nearly levelled this series.
You're listening to Grandstand Test Cricket, the second test between England and Australia, coming to you from Edgbaston on ABC Local Radio and Radio Australia.
Yes, you certainly are, but for how long, I'm not quite sure. England require just 2 wickets. Australia require 107 runs. So it's going to be an interesting morning, but you would have to have your money with England, one would assume. Australia to resume at 8 for 175, and they are chasing 282 for victory. And, of course, the dismissal of Michael Clark, a magnificent bowling display by Scott Harmison yesterday afternoon. Or when was it? Last night, early this morning, our time, of course. Steve Harmison, rather. It was just a terrific bowling performance where he rocked Michael Clark with some short balls and then a slow delivery and had him clean bowled. So that meant that Australia was up against it. And so we head back to Edgbaston for the continuation. This is day 4 of test number 2, where England has a great chance of levelling the Ashes series.
Fantastic to see as well, isn't it? This game needs a finish with a full house.
The Hollies stand has just risen as one to its feet. There are thousands of people in there, all waving, clapping and applauding as Michael Vaughan leads the England players out. They're going into one of their little huddles here, their arms all wrapped round each other in a tight group as everyone around the ground is rising. I mean, if there's this sort of atmosphere now, we haven't had a ball bowled yet. Absolutely amazing. They're still applauding, they're still standing as the players break up and get about their business. Andrew Flintoff there running up and down on the spot. Steve Harmison, I mean, if this doesn't get the players galvanised and just absolutely ready to finish this job off, then nothing will. It's still a standing ovation. Listen to that. Fantastic. I don't think I've ever known a start of play like that.
That's great, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's what the summer needs.
It made us take 2 balls, and I've seen people here who obviously invested heavily in fancy dress outfits. A magnificent King Arthur I saw as I came through the car park. I mean, poor chap, he's probably hired it for a day, and he may only get 10 minutes wear out of it, but he looked happy enough as he took his position in the stand over there. We're waiting for Australia's batsmen to appear. Shane Warne, of course, and Brett Lee. Here they come. And I think most people are applauding. I hope so. They're also being very warmly received, particularly by the Australians down there. Merv Hughes' group waving their flags and standing up and applauding. But, well, I've never heard anything like this. It's gladiatorial stuff. Jeff Lawson, what do you make of that?
Well, it's astonishing, really, that, first of all, everyone's turned up, which could be for 2 balls. It could be for a couple of hours. Maybe I'm being a little bit of wishful thinking from the Australian point of view. But, look, I don't think that'll happen. I think that England will wrap this up. For a couple of reasons, I don't think Australia will put on 100 for the last wicket, and that's the quality of the English bowling. It's been absolutely wonderful in this Test match, culminating in the final delivery last night, which has a piece of fast bowling. It wasn't fast, but it was cerebral, it was thoughtful, and it was very effective, and it was just wonderful to see. And I just think the quality of what England have delivered will win in this game, and they deserve to win this game. They have been the better side.
I don't think Brett Lee will get one, though, do you?
This is where, again, England, I'm sure, will be key. They'll put their 2 bruisers on, won't they? Will have Flint off at this end, and it'll be round the nose. It'll be unpleasant out there. It'll be pretty ugly.
I think they know what to expect, yes.
So Brett Lee is on strike. There are 3 slips a gully. There are still 2 balls left in this over. And with Bell crouching there at forward short leg. Rudy Curtin's making everyone wait here until the minute hand clicks precisely round to 1/2 past. But everyone waited. The ground absolutely full. It's fantastic that everyone has come. And why not? You've paid your money. You've paid a ticket. You could see a remarkable finish. Who knows what we're going to see, but I think it's fair to say that 99% of people here in the ground today are hoping and expecting to see England win this match, to level the series, and to have it 1-1 with 3 tests to play. Well, it would be fantastic. Might be a bit of an anticlimax now after all that build-up. That extraordinary reception for England's players, a standing ovation. We're now waiting.
Now, why do umpires do this? Everyone wanders out, everyone's pumped up, the crowd are ready to go.
People like Bill, that's why. So he doesn't put. He was out at 10:28 in the book rather than 10:30.
I don't mind at all. Don't blame me.
Well, I think Rudy Curtin's happy now, and it is 10:30, and you can hear the crowd getting ready now. They're over there, particularly in the right. They're all clapping as Brett Lee settles down over his bat, and Harmison comes galloping in from the city end. He's charging in. He bowls to Lee, and that's pushed away square into the offside. They've taken a run. They're thinking about the second. They'll come back to as Peterson throws the ball up to the far end. And so 2 runs to Australia. 105 more they need to win. And while England, of course, are revved up, there is just that line that you can go over between being revved up and over-revved, and they just have to be a little bit careful that they focus, they channel their aggression and their excitement in the right place. 177 for 8. Down go the slips. Lee's ready, and Harmison comes racing in again. He bowls to him short outside the off stump, but Lee sways out of the way. It was quick. It wasn't very well directed, though. And that ends the over in which Clark was dismissed last night. And it's 177 for 8. With Australia needing 105 to win, and England wanting those 2 wickets.
Well, Freddie Flintoff's on, as we suspected. Have we had any reports this morning on the shoulder?
No, already
another jab, as he said last night, another jab in the bum.
Yes, possibly he's had one of those, I don't know, but he had a great day yesterday. His best, he said, his best all-round day, including his best over, which is the one in which he dismissed Langer and Ponting within a few deliveries of each other. And it was that really that turned this game, I think, because Australia were pretty well set at that stage. Now, after all the noise, the excitement, you can hardly hear anything out there now. But Flintoff's now on his way. He's there. He bowls to Warne, who goes slightly towards the leg stump and plays this up towards mid-off. And there's no runs. We have 3 slips, a deep point. Bell is at short mid-wicket. The area, in fact, where he caught Martin yesterday. A deep square leg and a long leg. There's a bugler somewhere. I heard him blowing over there. I think he's in the Hollies stand. It sounds like it. 177 for 8. 2 runs added by Australia this morning. In goes Flintoff, and he bowls to Warne. It's a no ball. And a Yorker, a good one too, which he dug out.
And that digging out, that shoveling, got a standing ovation from the Australian fans up on the hill. So they're applauding anything, but... And Flintoff displaying he can bowl that Yorker, bowl a couple of beauties to finish the Australian first innings.
Well, there's a wonderful atmosphere here. There really is. People have come just to enjoy themselves. I don't know how long the day is going to last. They've had this in their diary for months. With the sun shining, Flintoff runs away again and bowls to Warne, who's hit on the pad. They're appealing for leg before wicket. Umpire Bowden says not out. It was short of a length. Going down leg side possibly, or also a bit high, but Warne there was trying to pull that away through deep mid-wicket.
And one suspects that'll be the Warne approach, that if he gets something nice and full, he'll try and bang it back over mid-off or the bowler's head, and if it's vaguely short, he'll have a go at it. I don't think he'll be, you know, nicking and nudging and noodling and trying to occupy the crease. I think he'll be playing some shots.
178 for 8. No wickets this morning for England. Then goes Flintoff and bowls to Warne. He gets behind this and plays back to the bowler. And there's no run. Wonderful atmosphere. A gorgeous setting too. It's a lovely day. And England's cricketers here 2 wickets away from levelling the series. And of course 3 test matches still to play. The next one on Thursday up at Old Trafford, so it comes around very quickly indeed. 178 for 8. Flintoff runs in and he bowls, and Warne defends this, playing up towards mid-on. Vaughan's there fielding, and there's no run. Every ball being applauded here. Not sure if you're an England fan what you'd like. I suppose you'd like Australia to bat for a while, make it really exciting, and then for England to
think so.
miss it out. Or just want to
if you're an England fan,
rip the stumps out.
You want this over in 2 balls.
You reckon?
I think so.
They want a bit of a morning here, don't they?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Have an exciting finish. In goes Flintoff, and he bowls, and Warne drives. A very good stroke, but it's stopped there by Hoggard at mid-off. A couple of yards either side of him, and that might well have gone for 4.
I think ideally for the cricket watcher, yes. I mean, you'd like us probably Australia to get 60 or 70 and just tease the total and tease some good stroke play and some exciting cricket. Maybe all over just before lunch would be perfect. You can celebrate in an appropriate manner. If it gets down to 10 runs or so, you might get a little nervous.
A little chewing of fingernails going on. Flintoff has wanted over, no doubt about that. And he's ready to go in and bowl the last ball of this over. 178 for 8. In he goes past umpire Bowden. He's there, he bowls to Warne, who pulls that away from outside the off stump. He's dragged it really out to deep square leg. So Simon Jones is fielding. And 1 run is taken off the last ball of that over, so Warne will keep the strike. He has 21. That was his first run of the morning. Lee has 2, and Australia are 179 for 8. No wickets yet for England this morning. And it's funny, you know, looking around these grounds normally at this time of day, you still see people piling in. They're a bit late. And oh, never mind, you know, we'll catch up with the day. But actually looking around now, everyone's here.
Absolutely. I think they made sure they got in for first ball this morning, because it might have been a wicket first ball. So this is not the morning to be late.
Some news from the match referees room, the headmaster, if you like, and he had Simon Jones in yesterday. Under code 1.6 of the Code of Conduct. I'll read it in a moment. But first of all, we're going to see Harmison bowling to Shane Warne. There are 2 slips and a gully. Men out on the boundary as well. In comes Harmison, roaring in. He bowls, and Warne gives himself room, and he hits that away down towards third man. It's a good stroke. A man's placed there for the shot. It's Jones. They'll come back for the second. And I wonder, having seen that, if Warne might put 1 more down here, because Warne there gave himself room. It was short, and he played a deliberate uppercut. It's a bit of a lottery to pick out 1 man down there. I wonder if they might think about a second. Anyway, ICC match referee Ranjan Madagala
announced today the findings of a disciplinary hearing held under the ICC Code of Conduct involving Simon Jones, brackets, England. Simon Jones is charged by B. Bowden, R. Kurtzen, brackets, on-field umpires, with breaching section 1.6 of the ICC Code of Conduct for players. Here's Harmison running towards us and bowls to Warne. He lets that go outside the off stump. He didn't really get too close to that. Section 1.6 is pointing or gesturing towards the pavilion in an aggressive manner by a bowler or other members of the fielding side upon dismissal of a batsman. Simon Jones pleaded guilty to the charge. The offence falls into level 1 of the Code of Conduct, and after due consideration of the evidence and the circumstances, match referee Ranjan Mandigala imposed a penalty of 20% of the player's match fee. Here's Harmison, and Warne runs this towards third man. Oh, it's very well stopped by Strauss there in the gully. That would have been 4. And runs are precious, very much so. Beautiful save. 181 for 8. Warne remains on 23. So a little bit of news from the match referee's room.
And I'm sure Simon Jones feels suitably chastised and wandered off back to the classroom.
Indeed. Harmison again comes in. Oh, that's a good one that goes through Warne. It bounced a little more than he expected. And nipped way off the seam too, I reckon. And Warne there, well, he was driving from leg stump. He does like to get leg side of the ball rather than get absolutely behind it. But, well, he missed that one quite comfortably. It was an odd one that it bounced more than he thought, but it wasn't steepling bounce. It was like a tennis ball bounce. It was going down as it reached the wicketkeeper. Anyway, it's prompted much prodding of the pitch from Warne, and Lee came down to help him as well. And Harmison comes galloping up once again. He's there, he bowls, and Warne slashes this square into the offside again. It's Jones out there on the boundary at square third man, who will field it to prevent the ball going for 4. But it's another run to Australia, 182 for 8. They now need exactly 100 to win. And there's 1 ball left in this over. Thank you, Bill. So the field will come in, I reckon, for Lee. He's dangerous, Warne. He's unorthodox, isn't he? He hits the ball in funny places.
And if he really gets his eye in, he can hit it really well. He's made a couple of hundreds for Hampshire. He's in a bit of form. I mean, he can bat. It's when he gets reckless and starts getting the feet pointing out towards square leg that he doesn't look like a good player. But if he gets the head down the eye, and he can be a very quick scorer.
Harmison comes in and he bowls to Lee. Oh, he's beaten there. Feeling outside the off stump again. A pretty hostile delivery. It's a good over from Harmison. Fast, aggressive. Maybe for Warne, if he's going to bowl short, he just needs to get it just absolutely middle and leg stump rather than anything off stump.
I mean, much more, well, at off stump, I think, give yourself a chance of hitting middle, hitting off stump, something like that. Just pulse a good line of length. You don't have to be too fancy this morning. They're good pace, Vincent Harmison, getting the ball through rather well. So just do the normal things. You don't have to try too much different against Warne.
Also in these circumstances, Jeff, when you've been there, as those runs just tick away, it can get a bit, the pressure starts to mount pretty quickly on the fielding side.
Yeah, I mean, not right at the moment, but another 20 or 30, which can come quickly, and you get a little ticky.
In goes Flintoff, and he bowls, and Warne plays that away into the offside. He'll only have 1. The man out there on the point boundary. If he takes that single, well, he has to, really. There's no point. He's not going to get a draw out of this. So it's really every man for himself out there as far as the batsmen are concerned.
And Lee can bat as well. I mean, I think his average is about 18 or 19, might be close to 20 of. He don't want to drag them, but he can bat. So number 10, he's a fairly handy player as well. He can hang in there and score as well. What's that average? What's the Lee career of 18? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty respectable for a number 10.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Flintoff's going to bowl to him. We're just going to press release here saying that Nick Knight has announced today that he'll be standing down from the Warwickshire captaincy at the end of the season. A little bit of news for locals here. The successor will be named at the end of the season. Now, Lee settles in. 183 for 8. No wickets for England so far this morning. In goes Flintoff, and he bowls to Lee. He's hit on the pad. The ball runs down into the slips. Giles is there to field. It came off the pad. It didn't come off an edge, I don't think. But it bounced comfortably in front of the slip fielder there. And they're attacking Lee here. 3 slips a gully. Bell is fielding at forward short leg. Point, mid-off. Mid-on. And Harmson's way down there at fine leg. Just called the ball boy to bring him a drink, which he duly did. He's now gone back to his position there. 183 for 8. In goes Flintoff. He's there and he bowls, and Lee goes back to a no ball, which he forces into the offside. The real timing, but again, he played it securely enough. Jones fields, and one more goes to Australia's score. 99 to win. 98, in fact. 184 for 8.
And this is almost as an orthodox field as we've seen. Orthodox attacking field, short leg, 3 slips. We've had 3 slips and deep mid-wickets and deep points on occasion when proper batsmen have been in. It's all gone a little bit sensible this morning.
Lee waits for Flintoff. There he is, absolute silence as he comes forward here and plays up to mid-on. There's no run. It's hard to believe so many people can be so quiet when the bowler's running in. You can hear everything, every thwack of bat on ball. There are thousands of people here. There's about 16,000 here, is it, Bill, the capacity here?
17 and a half.
There you go. Well, you listen to that. Not quite
missing.
Listen to the silence when Flintoff runs in to bowl the next ball. There you go. He's on his way now. Absolute silence. In he goes, and he bowls outside the off stump. A swish there is another no ball. Lee missed it. 185 for 8. 97 to win. Lee's on 2. Amazing how it's that tension.
We could hear the bat tapping, can we? Well, we've got the effects microphone, but there's nothing else coming out of the top. We can hear Lee's bat tapping away. Very quiet. Often in these situations, you get a big roar. The crowd will roar behind the bowler.
Absolutely gripped. Flintoff's on his way again. He's there and he bowls, and though Lee prods that away from his hip waist area, it's picked up by Bell at forward short leg, and there's no run. And you have to say there's been very little bat beating or LBW shouts or anything so far. We're in the 4th over of the day. A
couple of play misses,
yeah,
from Harmison in particular,
but not much. Not much has got past so far, has it? 185 for 8. Flintoff goes running in past umpire Bowden. He's there, he bowls, and there's a good-looking stroke from Lee going back and forcing that away up to mid-off. It's Hoggard there, wearing a large sun hat, who picks the ball up, gives it a couple of rubs, and waits for Flintoff to come walking in his direction. He'll throw it to him in a moment. 1 ball remains in this over. Thank you, Bill. So Hoggard throws the ball to Flintoff, who's walked full length now of his 20-yard run, I suppose, about that, 20, 25 yards. A little shuffling start. Then he goes rolling in again, past umpire Bowden is there, he bowls to Lee. There's another no ball. That was, what, the 3rd in this over? Sign maybe of Flintoff being a bit anxious here.
Well, we talked about this being the no ball end. It seems to be all being bowled from this end in both things, and it's a nice flat ground. It's, you wouldn't have thought it's up or downhill there, and we've got the replay. It's a long way over. Not even in the neighbourhood, is it?
Very big one. Just a bit anxious, perhaps stretching in his enthusiasm. Get there. 186 for 8. Lee on 2. Waits for Flintoff. In he goes, and he bowls. It's short, and he's flashed at that outside the off stump and missed. And Jones, the wicketkeeper, collects. 187 for 8. I'd say Flintoff at the moment not working up the same level of hostility that he had yesterday. He's probably a bit sore and tired for a start. He's giving it absolutely everything, but sometimes the ball comes out right and you're on a roll and everyone's behind you. You've got rhythm, and then the next day you put all the same effort in. It doesn't quite come out the same.
Yeah, maybe the adrenaline's not quite there today. I know the events here and the occasions here, but yesterday he was on a roll. And he had a great day with the bat and then charged in, bowled some wonderful overs, and there's just not quite the spark there at the moment. That's understandable.
So for Warne, we've got 2 slips and a fine gully. It's a 4th slip, really. They're setting Jones there at 3rd man absolutely precisely. He's 5 yards in from the boundary edge. In comes Harmison and bowls to Warne. Oh, my word. Well, that's the line I reckon. If they're going to bowl short, they must bowl at Warne. It was leg stump. And he went backing away, and it was almost like giving the slip catching practice. And if Harmerson's going to bowl short, get it at leg stump, because Warne backs out the way.
and it chased him a bit as well. It just moved a bit that direction. It was almost slips catching practice.
It's time for a bit of softening up, I think, from Big Steve.
Now, what's the softening up? Does he? Well, he's got two back for the hooker. Which one does he need? A shortish leg if he's going to bowl some body line.
Here he comes again and bowls to Warne, who carves that through the offside. He'll get 4. This is the danger, of course, of bowling short. It does give Warne the chance. That's why he has to get the line right. And that was too much offside, and Warne backpedaling slightly. Played a very good shot there, a fierce cut, which whistled away for 4. Good stroke. 190 for 8, and Warne goes to 29.
And Vaughan just wanders across for just a quiet word with his bowler. And it may have been just, okay, there's a couple of short ones are all right, but you've got to back it up with some good line and length bowling.
In comes Harmison, and Warne, he does a double bluff there, gets right across to the off stump. He's flicked him away through mid-wicket. They've taken 1. Peterson throws the ball back. The glint there of his blue sunglasses gives him away out there in the field. And 1 run taken, 91 to win. 191 for 8. And, well, England will be starting to feel, come on, let's get a wicket here. Been out there for nearly 20 minutes. So that was clever play from Warne. He went the other way before Harmison let the ball go and went across to the off stump.
And probably well bowled from Harmison as well. He went for the Yorker rather than something short. And if Warne had to miss that, it was probably hitting middle and leg.
Now, Lee's on strike. So there are 3 slips and a gully and a short leg. In comes Harmison. He bowls to him. It's short. Oh, he's got away with it. The ball looping over Gully's head as he took his bottom hand off the handle. He didn't like it one bit. They come back for the second. Jones throws the ball back. And Australia need 90 to win. That's the area to bowl at Brett Lee, I think.
But isn't it wonderful when you get a bowler who can deliver this sort of stuff? Someone who can bang it in and get the bounce out of the pitch. It just gives your team so much more chance of bowling sides out. And you know, Harmison really does thump the ball. Hit the very shoulder of the bat that and flew over. Lee very lucky, but good piece of bowling.
Harmison again comes in and bowls to Lee. Runs here for him, flicking that away behind square on the leg side. Chase for Hoggard. Round he goes. They've taken 2. His sun hat falls off. The throw comes in. 2 more runs added. 194 for 8. 88 now to win for Australia. And England haven't taken a wicket this morning. Tension starting to bite.
Well, not really. I mean, if you're at the fielding side, you've got to, you know, just keep sticking at your job and don't get carried away, as we spoke about the last over. It'll come.
Harmison again bowls to Lee, who clips that away. More runs here. Past Bell at short leg. He might get 4 here. As that runs away towards the boundary, he will get 4. And those are Australian cheers you hear. There are quite a few of them here at Edgbaston today, and they'll have enjoyed what they've seen so far. 84 now required to win by Australia. England still need those 2 wickets.
702 ABC Sydney.
Sydney's most trusted news and information service.
This is the second test between England and Australia on ABC Local Radio and Radio Australia, coming to you from Edgbaston.
And just as the game might be swinging a little bit Australia's way, let's welcome Jim Maxwell to the microphone with his fellow Australian Jeff Lawson.
I've seen 2 balls from Harmison really take off from a length, and he just sticks there. You've got to think that he'll get a couple of wickets.
So here's Flintoff. Hello, everyone. He bowls now, and he tries to cut and does so. Down to third man for 4. That was an audacious stroke from the line of the off stump. Warne again stepping back and giving himself a little bit of room. And he's just got them a little unsettled at the moment because he's attacking the bowling. He's playing with a degree of risk, but he's getting away with it. That was a very good stroke in the end. He's 34, and the 200's up, 8 for 203.
And that shot has taken a slip out down to third man. So a first slip and a fine gully and a third man.
Flintoff again runs in, and he's coming forward and driving this back on the hop. Knocked down by Flintoff in his follow through. So maybe Flintoff's just a little stiff after his tremendous efforts yesterday with the bat and the ball.
And sometimes when you get that shoulder injury that he had, it's just a slight strain. You can get through the day because it's nice and warm and you keep going. And next morning you wake up and it can be very stiff and a little more painful and sore, and that may be the case with Flintoff this morning.
Well, they've added 28 runs. Here comes Flintoff again, and Warne goes forward and plays on the run towards deep point, protecting the boundary out there. Kevin Peterson lobs the ball back, and Warne is 35. Well, it's fascinating watching this. I was just saying to Mark Serve in the back of the box, where were we yesterday? At the start of the game, who were the influential people in this game? Lee and Warne. And they're out there again, trying somehow to get Australia into a position where they could pull off a miracle.
Well, it will be a miracle. It's still got a long way to go. Long way.
Yeah. Wouldn't be getting your hopes up just yet in Australia, as Flintoff bowls and Lee is taken on the body. Tried to turn it away, and it's got up, I think, and hit him above the pad there.
A little stinger.
Got him on the fleshy part of the leg there. But these two can play, and we've seen them a number of times in test matches make very good contributions. And in fact, you're going on those averages. Lee's got a better average than Warne.
I think he's a couple of runs in front of Warne.
Yeah. Anyway, just take one ball here, and England may relax a little bit more than perhaps they're doing at the moment. Here comes Flintoff. He bowls to Lee. Lee goes back, gets another nasty ball and knocks it around the corner off his glove. Well, he's done pretty well so far. One off the shoulder of the bat went over the slip cordon from Harmison, and that was a very rapid delivery that he managed to keep out for a single to square leg.
The Ashes has never been bigger, so you'll need a big podcast. Join me, Corbin Middlemass and Ed Cowan on ABC Cricket Podcast, Monday and Friday and after every day of play. Search for ABC Cricket Podcast on the ABC Listen app or wherever you get your podcasts.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
In case you missed it.
A wicket for Australia to finish the match and regain the Ashes.
Don't miss a moment. England versus Australia.
On ABC Radio.
On Grandstand Digital and on the ABC Listen app.
Well, according to the radar, that was almost 95 mile an hour, and I know it got on the lead quickly. I thought it was more the bounce that made him jump, but 95 is rather sharp.
I hope they're not using that radar gun when I'm driving down the motorway.
I think you've already lost all your points.
Flintoff bowls, and Warne gets a short ball, a no ball, and tugs it around the corner. May have come from his body. Let's see what Billy Bowden's indicating here. No ball. One more to Warne, and another to the extras. All right. 8 for 206. 11 to Lee, 36 to Warne. 31 runs added today in better than even time. And the crowd are getting some entertainment. Although probably there are a few wondering when a wicket is going to fall. Billy Bowden just holds up Flintoff because the field's still moving. 3 slips, gully, a deep cover, mid-off, a mid-wicket, a long leg, and now he's going to have a leg gully. In fact, Vaughan's going into that position just behind square. Flintoff runs in at Lee. Lee comes forward and plays well. He got over the line of the ball and kept it out towards mid-off, so Australia get through another over. The bowling still threatening. Like so many of the moments in this match, you just don't want to turn your head because the next ball could be the one. 8 for 207, Warne's 36, and Lee is 11.
And it doesn't surprise me that Australia are going along a better than a run of a ball, because that's what they're planning, is keep scoring. Yeah, I mean, block the good ones, but if anything vaguely loose comes along, they've got to go after it. I mean, Warne generally plays like that in any case. But when he's concentrating, he does hit it quite well. And now we are going to have 2 third men. Well, mind you, Simon Jones is backward point, I suppose. And Andrew Strauss is going down to third man. So if Harmison bowls short and Warne wants to hit it on the offside, well, we've got a deep cover as well.
So there's a slip and a 4th slip. The fly slip third man. The backward point, deep cover, and mid-off's deep. Harmison bowls. He walks right across and he gets a shocker. It takes him on the shoulder somewhere. It goes over the top for 4 runs. Must have been off the bat. Oh, that was the horrible tennis ball bounce. Warne set himself. He walked a long way across and the ball spat at him, and somehow he got enough on it to clear the slip cord, and he cleared it well, in fact, and it went down for 4. That was extraordinary.
Well, they might have a deep backward point in a third man. They need a fly slip as well. That reminded me of Derek Underwood playing Michael Holding or someone. Feet both off the ground.
Warren's 40. Harmison goes in again and bowls to him, and he walks across and he pushes to the offside. They've got the field spread out. This is starting to be a little reminiscent of Border and Thompson, when Bob Willis kept pushing the field back and Border said, OK, let's take the singles. But this time, of course, we're looking at numbers 8 and 10 batting together, and Shane Warne is now, well, clearly the top scorer in the innings. 41 not out at 8 for 212.
And it's OK with that field seeing and that plan to Warne for a little while, but really, if you don't want him to hit the ball square on the offside in the air, well, pitch it up and make him drive.
Now, Harmison, can he get it in the right spot now? He goes in and bowls to Lee. Lee is forward and he defends well. A length delivery and he patted it down the pitch. Back to more orthodox tactics here.
And you've got to believe if Steve Harmison keeps bowling the ball there and Brett Lee has to defend it, that one's going to do something. He's going to nick it. They've got 2 men short on the leg side now. That tennis ball bounce will get into trouble rather than bowling short. Though he's less likely to bowl short at Lee than to Warne.
3 slips gully. 2 men close-ish on the onside. Harmison bowls and Lee drives in for 4. Smashed it. Whew, what a shot.
Although if you bowl a half volley, you will get hit back past you. You've got to bowl a good length.
Wasn't that a stroke? Harmison pitched up and Lee greeted it with a big wind-up and a tremendous blow down the ground. He's 15, 41 added. Another frenetic period of the game.
It does not go slowly or even medium pace, this game.
It's extraordinary. Now, the changes keep coming. He's going to go around the wicket. They've got rid of the leg gully. Vaughan's gone down to mid-on. Maybe he can get the line right here to get a nick into the slip cordon. In the sunshine, Harmison bowls to Lee. Lee drives again, miscues. It was a Yorker, dug it out in the end and shoveled it away down the onside of the pitch. So a partnership of 41 here. And is that the best partnership of the innings? 47 for the first wicket. Well, we're getting close. The twists and turns of Test cricket.
Now the crowd aren't silent when the bowler's running in.
They really want the wicket here. Harmison goes into bowl and Lee is keeping him out once more. Good defence, watched the ball and knocked it down on the onside. So the drama continues in this Test match. Well, there might be a few nervy moments out there if these two go for another 20 minutes or so. They're scoring at a very good rate. 41 runs added in half an hour of play. Warne's 41 and Lee is 15.
And I suppose by making Harmison go around the wicket, that's a small victory. It says, well, the original plan is not working, but England just don't need to panic at the moment. You just got to believe they're not bowling enough regulation, decent deliveries on a good line and length. They're getting a little carried away with the short stuff, and then when Harmison has pitched up, it's been a half volley. You just keep to the basics here.
So Warne to face Flintoff with a field that's spread out, just one slip. He runs into bowl to him, and Warne gets the short ball and pulls it, yanks it down towards mid-on. He didn't really clobber it. He dragged it just to the right of Michael Vaughan and took a run. He's 42 at 8 for 217. So there's so many elements that all add up to the result here. England taking the extra half hour last night and getting that wicket of Michael Clarke with a wonderful bit of deception, a change of pace from Harmison that bowled him in the final over of the day, which really left Australia exposed. But somehow, so far, they've managed to keep the game alive. Here's Flintoff. He runs into Lee, and Lee gets a goodish ball that bounces, and it hit the glove, I think. Yes, he's taken his bottom hand from the bat. He's taken as many blows as Langer the other day on the fingers, and he knocked that out on the offside. Well, Mike Selvey, it hasn't happened quite as quickly as a few in the crowd were hoping.
It's good stuff, isn't it? Good tense stuff. I should think they're a bit tense, the England team, going out there, the expectation of it all. do they think we're going to just get this, have they got a little bit ahead of themselves? I don't think that would be the case, but I think they're probably tense.
Flintoff in and Lee forward, drives him down the ground. This could go for another 4. It's well struck, pursued by Hoggard. He's getting close to it. He dives and he saves it, and they'll go through for 3. They have to move quickly. Throw goes wild down towards the bowler's end. Everyone's going helter-skelter as the ball went over the bowler's head, wide of the wicket-keeper. And there was a bit of a mini collision down there as they were all scrambling to get the ball and to make 3. And that's what happened. 3 more takes the score to 220 and Lee to 18, which is about his test average.
Well, he's hanging in nicely too, isn't he? He's taking some blows. I think the ice bucket might be out at the end of the match. Blows on the hand, blows on the body.
This is as fast as Australia have scored in the whole match. Flintoff running in now. He bowls to Warne, and Warne gets an awkward one. It follows him and whacks him on the knee, and he's hobbling down to the non-striker's end. Ooh, that hurt as the ball moved off the pitch and whacked him as he tried to turn it.
It's a dead ball. The leg by has been disallowed.
Leg by has been... That's a bit tough, Billy. I'm sure Shane Moore is suggesting something like that to Billy Bowden. It looked at me as if he was trying to play it, and he was just done by the movement. Don't you think that's harsh?
I think that's very harsh. He followed him, didn't he? Oh, that's very harsh. He backed away to the leg side. Flintoff followed him down the leg side with the ball. It clipped him on the back of the knee. He's tickled his knee up. He's hobbled down to one end. He's now got to hobble all the way back again. And no run for it.
There are times when I think Billy Bowden likes too much to be noticed.
I don't think he's had a very good game, to be honest.
No, well, I think he erred there anyway. That's the call. And so Warne has to face Flintoff again, and he's got a sore left knee.
He's not going to be moving quite so well, is he?
No, he's just shaking it around down there and trying to get settled. It's 8 for 220. Flintoff goes in at Warne, who walks across and tries to turn and just bails out at the last moment as it bounced over and outside the line of the leg stump. And he wants some gloves, I think, Brett Lee. He's indicating yet some new batting gloves, or maybe an extra pair of gloves to protect his paws.
The gauntlets.
Yes. Bring out the wicket-keeping gloves. Yeah. So Warner's 42, Lee's 18. This is a very exciting 35 minutes of cricket. How long can they survive? Flintoff bowls and Warne goes right across to a ball that bounces over the stumps down the leg side to the keeper. So it's the end of the over. No success for England so far, with Flintoff 16 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 52. Lee looks around and, well, there's no one under the nose on the onside. There is on the offside as he goes forward to this ball and plays it well out towards cover, and Strauss comes in to field. But they're showing some respect here for Lee. Deep backward square, deep mid-wicket, long off, a deep backward point, and even mid-on's back a little bit. He has come in at number 10. Giles bowls and Lee forward, squeezes the ball out down the pitch, watching carefully here. He does go a bit hard at the ball, and it could just hold up a bit for the caught and bowled.
Yeah, easy to turn the blade early on that as it's on leg stump. Think you're going to clip it through mid-wicket. Very nearly bunted that straight back, didn't he?
Lee 18. Giles from the city end with the shades on, over the wicket. He bowls now and down the pitch. Lee hits the ball, hits it a little too well to pick up a single, clipping it firmly to Flintoff down there at mid-on. But good footwork, and Brett Lee trying to keep the momentum going here, keep his wicket intact. And now Geraint Jones just making a few traffic signals towards the field on the offside. No move there at the moment as Giles rolls up again at Lee. Lee comes forward and he's almost bowled there. He just hit that ball onto his boot, trying to get it away, and done in flight by Ashley Giles, who's bowled very resourcefully in this game. And Lee got that right on the bottom of the bat into his boot. Giles goes in again. Lee drives back on the bounce, and Giles stops it in his follow through. So steady over here. Lee looking to pounce. likes to play the shots. The last ball of it to Lee. Lee forward. He miscues completely, and it goes off the leading edge in front of Flintoff, who was back along the line at mid-on. So a maiden over there, and a yelp from the crowd as they thought he was ballooning a catch. Some batting gloves are now being brought out. A maiden over, 8 for 220, Lee 18, and Shane Warne 42.
Well, that was the danger, wasn't it? Just turning the blade early there, out of the rough, the ball just holding up a fraction. It very nearly carried to mid-on, didn't it?
Sean Tate, the runner, with some gloves for Lee, and Shane Warne, having been whacked on the left knee, is going to face Andy Flintoff now, with the field once more spread out. So England just restoring a little bit of sanity there after a burst of scoring. A maiden over. Flintoff bowls, pitching right up, and he's bowled! He went too far across, and Flintoff has bowled Shane Warne. They've come off the pad. That's 9 for 220, and they're not quite doing a victory lap, but almost, as they surround Freddie Flintoff. The back slaps go on, and you would think that's just about the game here. A good effort from Warne, but he went a long way across there at Flintoff. He almost kicked the stumps out. He was so far over. So he's gone 9 for 220. Here's Mike Selvey, and Henry Blofeld's coming in for the last gasp of this game.
Yeah, he's gone to jog round the field there, Fred, just to keep loose, so to speak. It's a brave effort by Shane Warne, resourceful effort. Great cricketer, great thinking cricketer, and not just with the ball.
Well, the extraordinary thing about that was when Flintoff had taken the wicket, he started to run a sort of circle round the ground like a horse that's won a red rosette in a dressage contest or something. It was a really splendid, victorious circle by him. And poor old Mike Kasparovich coming out, the last man, and he and Lee are now all that remain between England and victory, although, of course, all that remains between Australia and victory is a small matter of 62 runs. And I must say, when those two were together, it did just begin to look a bit anxious, didn't it?
Well, not quite yet, I didn't think, but you do, you know, that's our natural pessimism coming through, I suppose. You know, or we're so good at stuffing things up like this. Oh my word! But I think the England team will have been pretty confident, and it really is a question of patience, isn't it, those circumstances? Not trying to force the issue too much, just to let it come, let them make the mistake.
Well, I think that England were almost trying too hard. The bowlers weren't sticking to the essentials. They weren't sort of testing on and outside the off stump, bringing the batsman forward. They were either banging it in too short or bowling it too full. And yes, Kasparovich on a golden pair. In fact,
he was hit wicket, wasn't he? I thought he might have been. Yeah.
Yes, he trod on his wicket. Indeed, that was how Warne was out. And here comes Flintoff again into Kasparovich. He's there, and Kasparovich plays this away for runs. He's off the mark, off the pair, and it's Vaughan who goes to his right at mid-on and fields. 221 for 9. Kasparovich has the single. But his Vaughan went right back onto his stumps, kicked them over, and of course that is out. And well, it was a good bit of excitement, and he and Lee really did score runs at a tremendous rate this morning, keeping up the tempo of this remarkable game of cricket. Well, we've now got Bell for Lee being moved back to a deepish mid-wicket, about 2/3 of the way back to the boundary. And here's Flintoff in now, Bosley. Oh my goodness me! That was a nasty one. It was short. It followed Lee. He somehow kept the ball down, and Lee walks round the wicket. Flintoff looks at him over his shoulder. I think there's a certain sort of animosity going on there. Lee now drops his bat. Kasparovich comes up to have a word with him. It hit him on the elbow. It was a very nasty one indeed. And my goodness me, Flintoff has got his tail up now. Oh, goodness, watching the replay of that. Lee had both feet off the ground. It hit the elbow, and He really is in some pain, and Errol Alcott, the Australian physio, starts to come onto the field, but then Lee gets up and waves him off. And so he's going to be fit to continue. But my goodness me, Flintoff didn't half rough him up with that one.
I'll tell you something, I reckon you can thank the fellow who made his arm guard there, because I reckon that would have broken, without that, that would have broken his arm. That was a horrible ball.
It was an absolute brute, wasn't it?
Absolute vile, wasn't it?
Anyway, Flintoff is really fired up now, and oh, there's a white butterfly out there. We haven't seen too many butterflies during this match. Flying past Flintoff, appropriately enough.
Come out of Brett Lee's stomach, I think. That was
yeah, very well may have done. And I think that red butterfly is the kind of his stomach, though. And that was a white one. We've got out talking about butterflies and things. Our friend, the dirigible, is up there, the light blue dirigible. And here comes Flintoff now, again, in, up to the wicket, bowls to Lee, short. And Lee this time too short, pulls away. And it goes past his nose and through to Geraint Jones. And the crowd really fired up now by that wicket of Warnes, as you would expect. We got 2 slips of gully, backward point, deep cover, mid-off. And then on the leg side, there's a wide, long on, almost a straight mid-wicket, you could say. A man, Bell, who's at short leg. He's not there for the bat pad. He's about 10 yards from the bat and a fine leg. And Flintoff is in now, up to the wicket now. Bowls there to Lee. Lee steers this away. Oh, it was very nearly a catch there, a second slip, but he's got 4 runs. No ball, was it? No ball called, yes. So 5 runs go to onto the score. 225 for 9. No, 226 it will be, in fact, because it was 221 before, wasn't it? And that was 92.9 miles an hour. So Flintoff really is stepping on the gas this morning. But that just went away past Strauss there at second slip. And here's Flintoff again, in to bowl to Lee. He's there. Lee goes back, and is he caught? No, he's not. He nicked, I don't know what happened to that one.
Pad, I would have thought.
It was pad, yes, rather than bat. And Jones went diving across. Trescothick went diving the other way. And I think half the crowd thought he was out. I did for a moment. But he's got away with it. But one feels that this last wicket is only just around the corner. Flintoff champing at the bit there. And Lee is ready for him. 1 ball to go in the over. Here he comes now, up to the wicket. He's there, he bowls, and this one is played away by Lee, who didn't know really where that had gone. It went gently to Bell, square short leg. And that is the end of a most eventful over. And Flintoff gets a terrific round of applause. People standing certainly there in the Hollies stand. And goodness, what a hero Flintoff has been in this match.
Lee's got the taste this morning. I mean, if these speed guns are to be believed, he will never have bowled faster in his life than he's bowling now. 95 miles an hour, 92, 93, coming up there regularly. Brett Lee will probably vouch for the fact that they're pretty sharp. He's getting a real going over out there. And he will have expected it. He's not been unknown to dish it out himself, so he will expect it back nowadays. That's the way of the game.
Well, I wonder now what Mr. Kasparovich is going to make of Mr. Giles. That could be quite an entertaining contest.
Light relief, I think.
Yes, indeed. Light relief in terms of miles per hour at which the ball is delivered. And the whole tempo will be a little gentler. We've got a slipper gully, a forward short leg, and a short fine leg. Those are the attacking. In fact, Strauss there, who was in the gully, now comes forward to silly point. Kasparovich stands there like a guardsman, settles over his bat, and here is Giles over the wicket, in, bowls, and Kasparovich drives. Oh, and that one was knocked up there at slip by Trescothick, and a bye. It was a bye. I wasn't certain what it had hit. It hit Jones. Trescothick knocked it up. And I think the crowd for a moment thought that had come off the bat. He just got his hand to it, knocking it over the bar, and they scampered through for a quick bye. 227 for 9, and it brings Lee down to the business end. He's on 22, the senior batsman now. And now that Warner's gone, and here comes Giles in to bowl to Lee. And Lee tries to play that away on the leg sides, and it just goes trickling back, I think, off the pad to Giles. And in Giles' first over, Lee was in all sorts of trouble, very nearly caught at mid-on off the leading edge, and well, didn't look at all happy. Giles turns, comes in this familiar waddle of his, bowls, and Lee's forward, just dropping that one down in front of him. And another field change now. Michael Vaughan gets the crash helmet, and it's going to be given to Strauss. He's going to go into silly point. Vaughan himself goes to short extra cover, and we've got Bell at forward short leg. I must say Vaughan has been a very active captain all through this innings. Here is Giles now again, and Lee goes down the wicket, pushes back. Giles picks up, threatens to throw back at the stumps. Doesn't, because there's no point at all. Lee goes back into his ground. You could really cut the atmosphere, the tension here with a knife. It's thrilling stuff. And Giles hitches up the shoulder of his left arm. In it comes, he can't bowls. Lee's forward, playing that back to Giles. I should say he hitched up his shirt, not his shoulder. It did. And the excitement, I think, is getting to all of us. Now Jones is coming in off the square third-man boundary to backward point. So he's saving the one there. They obviously want to try and keep Kasparovich down at the striker's end. How many balls is this over with him? Just the single. And here is Giles in, bowls now. Lee's down the wicket, playing defensively. Giles fields. It's the end of another maiden over from Giles. He's bowled 2 maidens in succession. 13 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 52. And Flintoff, haven't given you his figure, 17 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 58. Flintoff to Kasparovich, that, I think, could be the final death knell.
Yeah, showing your own there, Casper. Friendly ghost on the other end there. So he's going to get it too, isn't he? You mentioned Michael Vaughan. In my estimation, this is by far and away the best performance he's put in as captain. He really has run the thing immaculately. Right to the last second here, where he's put Ashley Giles onto bowl. He's bowled in 2 maiden overs. He's settled things down. He's brought a little bit of sanity back to the proceedings, and it immediately preceded the wicket of Shane Warne. I think England now feel, yeah, we've got the control back now.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, because runs were coming at a torrential speed when Warne and Lee were together. Now it's Flintoff bowling to Kasparovich. He's up to the wicket now. He's there. He bowls, and Kasparovich putting the appeal for LBW. And in fact, they get the single. The ball goes away behind square. Bell goes after it. A leg by is signalled, not as sexily as usual by Billy Bowden, who stands on one leg and positively hops on it. I think he almost lost his balance. And 228 for 9. And more importantly for Australia, Lee is now in strike. And that one, I think, was going down the leg side, wasn't it?
Yes, he's moving across, of course. Like Shane Warne, he's trying to get inside the line and just be able to perhaps just winkle the ball down to fine leg, use the pace of it.
228 for 9. Flintoff, no. He was started in, and then Lee pulled away. I don't know whether this is a tactic to try and upset Flintoff. He looks as though he may have trouble there with his visor. Maybe there's a fly or even a butterfly there. I don't think a butterfly actually would go into as close to a batsman as that, but anyway, he's ready now, and here comes Flintoff. Up to the wicket, he's there. He bowls, and a great carving stroke there by Lee. Sends the ball over the slips, down to third man. And oh, there's an overthrow. Clumsy piece of work that by England. And so Lee is still in strike. Peterson was down at third man. Threw in over Jones. There was, really, it was Bell who was at fault there. He should have backed that one up. And in the end, it was left to Hoggard to come in from deep mid-wicket, so they got 2 runs. 230 for 9. Lee is 24 and still in strike. And here's Flintoff. He'll be angry after that. He's up to the wicket now. He bowls it short, and Lee makes room and runs this to third man. And they take the single. And this time, I think Peterson will underarm the ball. Indeed, he does. Throws it straight back, underarms to Vaughan. 231 now for 9. 52 needed by Australia to win. 1 wicket needed by England. And it's Kasparovich and Lee having a tremendous conversation. And Flintoff is going to bowl to Kasparovich. And one feels Well, I feel it rather for Kasparovich, because I think this could be a pretty nasty one.
That LBW looked pretty close.
It did, didn't it?
Just a replay of that.
Here comes Flintoff in, bowls Kasparovich, who goes in front of his stumps, plays down to Vaughan at mid-off, and there's no run there. No ball is called, so another run. 232 for 9. And isn't it extraordinary the way no balls keep coming from this end?
An awful lot. That's the only reason I can think of that there have been more this than the other is because the spinners have bowled a lot from the from the city end. But that notwithstanding, you're quite right. There's been an awful lot from this pavilion end.
And one wonders if there's something about the lie of the ground that makes it difficult for the bowler in his deliveries, right? It seems pretty flat to me, yes. Anyhow, Flintoff in, bowls out a short one, and Kasparovich was moving in towards it, then saw it was short and ducked underneath it, and through it went to Jones. But Kasparovich moving across his stumps in the same way that Lee and indeed Warren had done, and this, of course, makes him very much a candidate for LBW, and or indeed to be bowled.
He's leaving his leg stump exposed too. Is it worth a dart down that leg side?
Well, yes, and there's a little bit of protection. There's a fine leg Harmison down there. Vaughan comes across now, has a word with Flintoff, and as a result, Vaughan himself is going to backward square leg, and Jones comes in off the cover boundary to orthodox cover point. Vaughan is a backward short leg. So field changes all the time. And here is Flintoff, in now to Kasparovich. He's up to the wicket now, he bowls. Kasparovich goes across his stumps, plays this one round the corner. It's a chase for Harmison, it's 4 runs, he won't get there. Well, well, well. 5 now to Kasparovich, 235 for 236 for 9 the score. And gosh, is this match going to have another twist to it even yet? 236 is the score, 236 for 9, 282 is the target for victory. Warren hit wicket, bowled Flintoff 42. He batted for 79 minutes. He hit 2 sixes and 4 fours, plays 59 balls. Give you the partnership in a moment. Flintoff is in now to Kasparovich. He's up to the wicket. Oh, Yorker length, and he digs it out brilliantly. He really did. He did very well for a tall man to get down on that one, and it was Bell who picked it up on the leg side. Just finished the statistics there for the 9th wicket. Warren Lee added 45 in 38 minutes from 56 balls.
Well, the game still alive. I still don't think those nerves will quite get to England yet. There's a long way to go for Australia here. But that was well played, that last shot. He knew what he was doing. He moved onto his off stump, outside his off stump, anticipating the straight ball, and flicked it away pretty competently for 4 runs.
What does Kasparovich average in Test cricket? Bills, who has that thing under his 10.52, so he's not a complete mug by any means. And Giles now slightly altering his field. We've got slips, silly mid-off rather than silly point, a forward short leg and a short extra cover. And here is Giles bowling to Lee over the wicket. He bowls, and Lee comes down the wicket and carves this away to the deep mid-wicket boundary. It's going way out there for 4, and Peterson was running now, he couldn't get to it. And so, more runs, 240 is up, and 29 now to Lee, 240 for 9, and 42 needed for victory. And Peterson now stays where that one went. Maybe a question of bolting the door after the horse has gone. We'll see. Giles in again, bowls, and Lee goes back, plays this one, squirts it away to Bell at forward short leg, and there is no run. Well, it is very exciting and very tense, but Giles won't, I think, be worried by the fact that Lee was coming to down the wicket to slog him, because that could be just what Giles wants. He bowls again, Lee, and he just pushes this one away out to Peterson at deep mid-wicket. Peterson comes in easily, underarms back to Giles. We don't want any more buzzers, overthrows, and 241 for 9. Bill Frindle has a large draught from a glass of water. I think we all need something to soothe our nerves. And Giles turns. 3 men round the bat, and Vaughan there still at short extra cover. Giles is in, bowls, Kasparovich drives, Vaughan goes across, but doesn't pick the ball up, in fact. It was Harmison at a deepish mid-off who does, but Vaughan was in close attendance, which discouraged them for going for a single. Giles back at the far end in the sunshine, turns, and here he comes up to the wicket now. He's there, he bowls, and Kasparov swings this away high over Harmison there for 4 runs. That was a splendid blow. He hit it magnificently. Goodness me, are Australia going to get there after all? Wouldn't it be amazing if they did? 245 for 9. Kasparov goes to 9, and what a blow.
Top shot, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Down the pitch, inside. Saw the fielder was up.
Well, it's, goodness me. This is exciting stuff, and everyone in the crowd must be so thrilled that they've come. Giles in again, bowls Kasparov red forward, and edges this one past a diving Trescothick down to the third-man boundary for 4 more. So 249 now for 9, and Kasparov goes to 13. And England really will be beginning to get a little bit worried. 13 runs coming off the over, and after 2 maiden overs, Giles has rather livened things up again. He's now got 14 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 65, and time for me to go. So after another word from Mike Selvey, it will be time for Jonathan Agnew.
Yeah, not so clever that over. The control being wrested back again by some fine blows there. Good blow from Lee first of all, and then a terrific shot from Kasparov over long off. 13 off the over. Just it's a slightly different complexion on it.
Whew. Well, yesterday Blowers took a wicket virtually every time he sat down. He's got through 20 minutes there without taking one, so we've kicked him out a minute early. 249 for 9. With 30 to Lee, 13 to Kasparov, and Australia need 33 more runs to win this game. England need 1 wicket. Long discussion there between Lee, who's now going into his batting position, and Kasparov, who's playing heroically here for number 11, but it's Lee on 30. We warned he was no mug, who settles down now. There are 3 slips, the crowd getting right behind Flintoff as he goes roaring in and bowls to Lee. It's short and steered just past of slip, the right hand of 3rd slip there, and down to 3rd man and away for 1. So can they now, England, with Kasparov down there on strike and with 5 balls left in this over, finish this off? The batsmen are having a chat. What's the plan here, Mike? Where do they bowl at Kasparov? Let's try and get him out.
Well, he seems as if he's made his mind he's going to go leg side. Now, you can do 2 things in those circumstances. You can bluff or you can double bluff. You step away and carve it. Freddie will look for the Yorker. I hope Freddie will look for the Yorker.
3 slips and a gully. Kasparov, number 11 on strike. In goes Flintoff. He bowls, so he clips that away. There's runs here for him down towards long leg. Harmison's there, picking up in front of the scoreboard. Coming back for the second. The throw comes in, and they get there. 30 to win. 1 wicket. All the time in the world. More discussions between the batsmen. Merv's mob sit down again up there. They're on their feet there. They thought that might have gone for 4. Vaughan comes running up. He throws the ball to trusty Flintoff, who's been bowling all morning here. He'll be tiring, one would think. He'll be going for an hour. Kasparov waits for Flintoff. There he is. He bowls. It's a nasty short one. Casper ducks underneath it. Ball flies over his helmet and is collected there by Geraint Jones. 252 for 9. And of course, the longer that the Australians do occupy the crease, so Michael Vaughan has to juggle his bowling options. He's been very reluctant to bowl Hoggard. I think he's an absolute last resort at the moment. Not in the best of touch. Simon Jones has been hot and cold in this match. Kasparov has 15. In goes Flintoff. He bowls to him now. He steers that away into the offside. Not a bad shot for number 11. His feet were rather anchored, but he drove it away to Jones there at cover point. There's no run. Balls, Bill. 2. Thank you. 2 remain. Out goes a deep point. They'll let Kasparov get a single here, but they can't play that game for much longer. 30 to win for Australia. In goes Flintoff, and he bowls to Kasparov, an ugly smear as that's pitched up and outside the off stump, and Kasper there very much on the back foot. Well, he's aiming an off drive, and the ball went in the other direction, really, and it's picked up there at mid-on. 1 ball remains. Oh, lots of chewing fingernails. I can see them on the screen in front of me. Absolute tension. There is a lady I can see literally biting her fingernails. 2:52 for 9. Here's the last ball of the over. In goes Flintoff, and he bowls to Kasrovich. A nasty short one, but the number 11 has survived. He's reared out of the way. Billy Bowden gives one of his more absurd drinks signals. Hoggard comes running off, and there'll be a break of 2 or 3 minutes here. And, well, lots of people standing up, blowing out their cheeks. Whew. This is tense.
Live on Grandstand from Edgbaston, the second test, England and Australia, on ABC Local Radio and Radio Australia.
Let's take you back to Edgbaston. We're still on the edge of our seat.
Hang on, we actually have a real chance here. At the moment, okay, they're giving it their best shot, but there'll come a stage where suddenly the reality of it will hit them too. Yeah. How many tide tests have you seen, Bill?
None. There have only been 2.
Indeed. I haven't seen one either. You seen one, Sel?
Played in a Tide county match. Yeah.
Let's throw that into the mix. 2:52 for 9. Giles is going to continue despite a rather expensive previous over, which 13 came from it. He's going to bowl to Lee. Wickets often fall after a drinks break. Lee now prods around. There's a slip. Short mid off, forward short leg, and a short extra cover. And men out in the deep as well. A long off, deep straight mid wicket, deep backward square leg. Here's Giles. He bowls to Lee, who prods forward. The ball hits him on the pad there and bounces in front of Bell, who's at forward short leg. And there's no run. And Giles here bowling over the wicket is tossing the ball into the rough outside Lee's leg stump. And here hoping he'll try and clip it away in the leg side, get a leading edge or an edge into his pads. Here's Giles, and he bowls, and that hits Lee on the pad. No appeal for leg before it bounced happily, easily outside the leg stump. Alan Oakman's done many things in his life. I've never seen him as a barman before, serving drinks out here on the committee balcony just in front of us. Not showing too many signs of tension at the moment. 2:52 for 9. England need 1 wicket. In comes Giles. He bowls to Lee, who's down the pitch driving just wide of Giles's outstretched right hand. And they pick up 1 run. Ball's in the air for a while. Hard to tell from our angle here whether or not it was driven into the ground or whether it was going past Giles on the full. 29 more to win. And Kasrovich now settles down. 3 men around the bat. Down they go. Giles comes in and he bowls to Kasrovich, who sweeps. It's ambitious, but it's effective. And he picks up 1 run to Hoggard. Deep square leg, and a rather high throw comes in, but Giles is able to take it. And how many remaining this over, Bill? 2 to come. So like to keep Lee down at this end now. Can Giles bowl 2 dot balls here, possibly? 2:54 for 9. Giles comes in and bowls to Lee, a flatter one. He's forward to it, pushing it away into the leg side. Strauss picks it up. 1 ball remains. Kasrovich is down there at the non-striker's end. He'll have probably Flintoff to contend with after this ball, if Giles can keep Lee at this end. Lee will want a single here. In goes Giles. He bowls to him. He works it away into the leg side. He's got his single. Pushing it through mid-wicket. Peterson picks it up. Lee happy just for that 1 run. And so Casper, the number 11, will be at the non-striker's end. 27 to win for Australia. 1 wicket wanted by England. It's been a dramatic test match, full of twists and turns. We thought we had seen as many as there could possibly have been, but there's another one unfolding in front of our eyes here this morning. 27 to win. Began the day at 107.
Well, down to Harmy now. Fred is bowled out.
So Harmison returns from the pavilion end. He bowled his better spells from the far end, I felt, but Giles is ensconced there. So Harmison coming on, having bowled 4 overs this morning. And he's taken over from Flintoff, who's taken the 1 wicket. He's got 4 for 69 at the moment. He bowled 7 overs from this end. Lee's on strike. 2 slips into gully, no short leg. He's retreated. He's now saving the single at square leg. There's a man out at deep point. No one out for the hook. And Lee, who's played very well for his 33 not out, he's taken some bruises along the way. Settles down. 27 to win for Australia. In goes Harmison. He's there. He bowls to Lee, who turns it away into the leg side. They've taken the run. They have to. There's no point really in trying to protect the number 11 at this stage. He's just got to get on with it. Every run taken by Australia just turns that knot in the supporters who are here following England in their stomachs, and everyone's feeling it now, I'm sure. Even Bill Frindle has seen about 4,500 test matches. Twitchy Bill.
It's very exciting. No, it's not exactly a war room, is it?
In goes Harmison, and he bowls. It's a Yorker shoveled into the leg side, just over Bell's head. At square leg. My word, how did he get it there? Doesn't matter. They've come back for 2 as Bell throws the ball in. It was a Yorker, and well, it's rather as if Kasovich there had a large shovel in his hand and was digging a hole in the garden as he played that shot. It was an extraordinary thing, but he's got it away for 2. 25 to win. 258 for 9. Harmison goes galloping in again. He's there, he bowls to Kasovich, a terrible ball down the leg side. Jones can't stop it. 4 byes. A shocking ball. It was a tester for the keeper, but that betrays 1 or 2 nerves, I reckon. 20 to win. 262 for 9.
Well, that doesn't help, does it? Trying for the Yorker, I think. Rather like those ones that Andy Flintoff was bowling last night to... who was he bowling to? Michael Clark, wasn't it? The knee-high full tosses. I don't think Geraint Jones should have managed to get something on that.
Got nothing at all, did he?
Dived over it.
262 for 9. The crowd are worried now. Listen, they're urging on Harmison, who's on his way. He's there. He bowls to Kasovich, who, with all the time in the world, as nonchalant as he like, simply pats back that ball as if it was bowled at military medium. Vaughan is changing the field around now. He's bringing out his 3rd slip. That can be dangerous because he's exposed 3rd man now, but he's taking a man out of slip to mid-wicket. 262 for 9. Kasovich is on 18. In goes Harmison. He bowls to him. It's short. He prods it away into the onside there. It's fielded by Strauss, who'd been put into that position at mid-wicket. And 1 ball remains, a very solemn, solitary finger raised by Bill to my right. And Australia need 20 to win. They began this morning needing 107 runs to win. Tension is absolutely gripping. Harmison sets off again, past umpire Bowden. Is there, he bowls to Kasovich, who again very easily goes back and plays this to wide mid-off. It means that Lee is on strike for the start of the next over. 262 for 9, 20 to win for Australia. And the impact of this on the whole series, if Australia go 2-0 up with 3 to play, obviously the ramifications as far as the Ashes are concerned are extremely serious, as opposed to 1-1 with 3 to play.
Oh, it's enormous, isn't it, this?
Well, England would need to win the last 3 tests if they're going to win the Ashes.
Oh well, we've changed ends. We can't do it without Andy Flintoff. He's coming back at the city end now. He's had a good break.
1 over. Yeah, so Flintoff from that. Well, this is rather odd because we did make the comment, I did just now, that actually Harmison, I thought, looked much happier at the far end when he bowled in this game, and Flintoff has generated wonderful pace and rhythm from this end when he's bowled. So why have they swapped over? Or was it just a last moment decision by Vaughan to take Giles off, because let's face it, for Lee, 20 to win is a couple of lusty blows.
A couple of big blows, aren't
and
you?
you're there.
You take your chance against them. I think that's the right decision. You don't want to give him the opportunity just to go for broke.
All these little things come into it now. But that's tension I mentioned for the batsmen now will be starting really to grip, because they now know they're within striking distance of this. 262 for 9. More fiddling of the field. Very much an offside field it's going to be too. So we've got 3 slips, a man at deep third man, a deep point. Peterson comes across into the gully, so there are 2 slips, 2 gullies, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a long leg. It's Flintoff who's rushing in. Can he do it for England? Up he comes and bowls to Lee, a huge swipe outside the off stump. He misses, and the ball flies through to Jones. 262 for 9. Let's get an Aussie perspective. Jeff Lawson.
You're looking at me rather anxiously there. Well, when I went off air after the first half an hour, I thought, oh, I'll just let Selvin call the winning wickets for England. But I haven't been nervous up till about now, because now I think we actually do have a chance of winning.
This is it, isn't it? This is what the batsmen will be starting to feel too. 262 for 9. Lee is on 34. England need 1 wicket. Here's Flintoff. He comes in and he bowls, and Lee gets right behind this.
But I'm a little, I mean, I know Selv just a right move with Flintoff back in. He's just bowled 65 minutes. And Jones, I thought, bowled really well in the first innings. You know, he had the reverse swing going. He bowled good line length, and he just had it going away from the right-handers with the reverse. He got the slips there. And to be honest, Agus, we've hardly seen a good length ball bowl this morning. You know, it's been full or short, and even that was short of a length. And I thought Jones might have been worth a little shot.
262 for 9. It's Flintoff hurtling in from the city end. He's there. He bowls to Lee. It comes cutting back. He prods it off, playing it well. Flintoff picks it up and glares at him. What England simply can't afford here is 1 bad over, an over in which a couple of boundaries or 11 runs come from it, and suddenly you're down to single figures for Australia to win.
But you're right, that's when the batsmen start to get more tense, because all of a sudden they're playing with a certain amount of freedom early on. Oh, well, we're going to like to make, we're unlikely to do it, no pressure. But when you get in that situation, when the wind's on the cards, that's when you can tense up.
262 for 9. Lee's on 34. Flintoff, he needs his wicket. It's short. Oh, he's got away with that. It's a nasty one, though. It's got him on the glove. And Lee is in real pain. He's going off towards square leg. This will be a physio job, I think. It was a brute of a ball. It was short. He's fended it off. Luckily for Lee, it went down into the ground and didn't fly up into the slips. Here comes Errol again in his blue tracksuit, and Lee is on his knees there in a great deal of pain. It was short. It reared up at him right on the left hand. He's dropped his bat. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. It could, you have to say, have seriously damaged his hand.
Well, it hit it absolutely full smack on. He still had his left hand on the bat and catches the hand, the fingers between the bat handle and the ball, and that's what causes the damage. And, well, Lee's got the treatment out there. Whether there's a break, it's not going to matter whether it's broken or not. You've got a bat on, Brett. So get the spray on it, my man. You're not going to go retired hurt at this particular point.
No.
Bat one hand if you have to, but
there's not really much that he can do, is there? I mean, he's just going to have to try and get on with it. But I can see the swelling there already from the shot we're seeing on the left hand, just above. It's above the joint of his little finger into the back of his hand. That's
we've just seen him flex his hand, so it's working.
I think it's okay.
So might be sure he's been here where the elbow, the body, the hand.
Casper's coming down to offer something. I'm not sure. He's a genial old chap, Kasperovich.
I'm sure he's offering. I'm glad it was you, not me, mate.
Well, the umpires are wandering around. They're saying, is he going to be all right? How long will this carry on for? It was a brute of a ball. 262 for 9. England's fielders, look at them. They're standing there. There's a couple in conversation. Skothick and Peterson are having a chat about things. Flintoff sitting on the ground having a rest.
Which he's entitled to.
Absolutely. I think Errol Alcott has done all he can. He's got his blue towel slung over his shoulder. And he said, good luck to Brett Lee, who's pulling on his glove. And, well, he's going to carry on. He's saying there really is little choice for him here. If he goes off injured, that's it.
And Flintoff's got to back that delivery up with the wicket-taking one. When he hit Lee bowling from the commentary box, and he followed up with another short ball, and Lee played it, well, not convincingly, but got out of the way and wasn't in any problems. You've got to follow it up with a wicket-taking ball. Even if it doesn't have to be a Yorker, just a good length. Something if he misses, it's hitting the pads or hitting the stumps, or you get an edge to. Doesn't have to be a Yorker, doesn't have to be a bouncer.
20 to win. Brett Lee is back there again. He's ready. He's in his crease. He's taking a deep breath, looking around the field and settling in once more. England need 1 wicket. There are 2 balls left in the over. Flintoff comes rushing in. He bowls to Lee. He's hit on the pad. The ball runs down into the slips. It's collected there by Giles. There's no run. Lee goes for a walk. Again, breathing heavily.
And Flintoff sprinted. He ran in hard to bowl that delivery. The radar told us 91 mile an hour, and it swung and seamed and bounced as well, so you got very little chance of hitting it. But there was some intent in the run-up, let alone the delivery from Flintoff.
20 to win. 1 wicket required by England. Here's the last ball of the over. Flintoff bowls it to Lee. Well, he's going to get 1 run here as that goes away into the leg side, probably a leg by. Jones is after it. He'll pick it up. And Lee hobbles down to the far end. I didn't see if leg by was signalled or not there.
Yes, yeah, it was.
It was. 263 for 9. 19 runs required by Australia. It began at 107 this morning. England needed 2 wickets. They've only managed 1. Shane Warne out for 42.
It's
Jeff Lawson.
It's getting
Jim
a bit
Maxwell.
like that. Is it really? What I mean, I think the fans of both sides probably deserve this sort of finish to the game. They've had an extraordinary test match, and run rates for the first couple of days, batsmen dominating, and the ball yesterday, and now we've got a close finish. And there's not much between these 2 teams, and that's been indicated on the scoreboard. It is absolutely top-notch test match cricket.
So it's Harmison to bowl, and Lee is pushing at the ball. He gets an inside edge down to the boundary for 4. The old Chinese drive. Oh, and Harmison puts his hands on his head. More frustration for the England team and their supporters. Oh, this is a nail-biter. They need 14 to tie, 15 to win, and we're really getting down to the nerve-jangly period of the game. It's hard to believe that Australia are in this position, having started the day at 8 for 175, and it looked to be mainly a formality that England would win. They can still win, obviously, but Lee has made a wonderful contribution here, and a brave one too. He's copped a few. Harmison goes up again and bowls to Lee. Lee is taken on the body by one that flicks through down the leg side. Just brushed him on the way, but that left hand must be hurting. He keeps taking it away from the bat. Now he's having a little inspection, is he? No, he's just hitching his strides and sorting himself out, but that was a very nasty blow. Almost as nasty as the one that hit him on the elbow from Flintoff, which without the protection surely would have broken his arm.
Well, you've got to look on that as a positive view of the batsman, because the pain in one area distracts you from the pain in the other area.
I like the psychology. 9 for...
You can't feel 2 pains at once.
Oh, I don't think so.
9 for 267. 15 to win. Just 1 wicket for England. Will this be the ball? Harmison goes up and he bowls, and Lee's hit on the pad. He may have nicked it into his pad, maybe going down the leg side. There wasn't the tumultuous shout. He saw the ball pitched up and he thought, oh, I like that. And he was going to hit it out to the boundary at mid-wicket, but he missed. Or maybe got a little nick onto his boot.
And I've still got to say, this is a curious field with a deep cover out. It's hard to drive a good length ball. If you bowl a good length ball, it's very hard to get hit out to deep cover. That'll stop some runs at the moment. Didn't need to stop runs the first hour this morning, but now they are like gold.
9 for 267. Harmison bowls to Lee. Lee forward, beaten outside the off stump. He's clearly a little shaken up by it all, and there's some adrenaline running out there. Now he wants a drink. Might be a painkiller.
Well, you don't need a painkiller, because that'll slow you down. Maybe just a drink to refresh you. But if you start taking painkillers, that'll slow your reactions down, so you don't want to do that.
Well, Freddie Flintoff had one in the boom yesterday that seemed to sort him out.
Oh, no, I shouldn't touch that one, really, but you don't have, your bum does have to go any slower.
As the injury was in his arm, it was a little bizarre. In goes Harmison now, pitching up, and it's driven by Lee off the edge, and it didn't carry to Strauss in the gully.
Well, Harmison's got his hands on his head. Whether that's it was almost out.
Did it carry, or was it just in front? As he went to drive, sliced it square of the wicket on the offside. It certainly was airborne and landed in front of Strauss.
Yeah,
just in front. There was a roar from the crowd, but Lee survives it all. He prods away at the pitch. Everyone's getting nervy here.
But Harmison needs to bowl more in that area, not short. Short's great for hitting people. Full's good for getting them out.
Last ball of the over. Harmison goes into Lee. Lee is beaten outside the off stump. He pushed at that and missed it. And England just can't get the wicket-taking ball at the moment. Australia still a chance of pulling off a miraculous win now. 15 required. Stuart McGill's running out with a drink for Brett Lee. He's 38. Kasparovich is 18. Warn the man out. Trot on his stumps to the bowling of Flintoff for 42. And this partnership now worth 47, which is the equal best of the innings.
And it's all been exhilarating stuff. And Harmison a little bit of that over because he got past the bat with good length, or just short of a length bowling. Much better to try and get the batsman driving. Don't bowl a half volley. You don't want him driving under those circumstances. But a good length, or a touch full of a good length for these tail enders. They don't get that far forward. There's been just too much of a session with a bit of short stuff, bouncer stuff, hitting the batsman, then Yorkers, and it hasn't quite paid off at the moment.
Well, Kasparovich, who hasn't faced the bowling for a couple of overs now, will have to take Flintoff, who started here at the pavilion end but is now at the city end. 2 slips in the gully. They're protecting the boundary at third man and fine leg. 1 wicket for England. 15 runs for Australia. Here comes Flintoff, and it's short, and he cuts at it. Uppercut down to the boundary. It's dropped at third man, and they get a run. Oh, there was the chance for England to wrap the game up. And it was Simon Jones coming in. He moved a little late, and then going forward on the uppercut stroke from Kasparovich, he got his hands under it and spilt the chance.
It would have been a great catch. Diving forward to those. About 9 inches above the ground. I mean, tough one. Very tough one.
A single. 9 for 268. 14 needed. Well, there was a moment. Now for Lee. Vaughan trying to get the field right. He's got a third man and a deep backward point. And the crowd just willing Flintoff to get this wicket. He runs in now. He bowls to Lee. Lee comes forward. He's flicked it down the leg side. It's gone for 4. What are they? Run.
And a no ball as well.
And a no ball. Leg buys. They flicked his boot down the leg side, and it flew wide of Jones.
5 no balls, I think.
Yes, 5 no balls, and it all adds up to a score of 9 for 272. Is that right, Bill? The scoreboard's getting nervous too. Now they've got it right. 9 to tie, 273 in fact. Yeah.
I hope the scoreboard's got it right. We don't want the scoreboard making an error.
So that's 9 to win. This is on an edge. Flintoff goes up and bowls again. Lee drives at this and hits it on the bounce down to mid-off. He hit that very well. He took on Flintoff, and the ball flew straight to Bell, and he was thinking for a single, but it went too quickly. Now, where does Vaughan place his field in a situation like this? The game, all of a sudden, appears to be there for Australia to win it with just 9 required.
And another quick word from Vaughan to Flintoff, and she's a third man. After another slip catcher up there, get the third man out of there. What a catch.
Flintoff bowls, and back goes Lee, forces to the offside and gets a quick single out in front of cover. Kasparovich back on strike. 9 for 274. Just 8 runs needed. That's just a couple of boundaries.
7 for the tie.
Poor old Simon Jones. I hope he doesn't have nightmares over this.
Well,
from England's viewpoint, Flintoff can finish it off.
Yeah, I mean, James, really tough catch. Third man coming forward, the ball's low at you. It's a great catch if you take it. It's a really tough one.
We're all on the edge of our seats here. Flintoff is running in, and Kasparovich comes across, and he plays it well. The squirting front foot stroke, and it gets a single out to deep cover. And the other amazing thing about this is the pace of Australia's scoring. I mean, they've been under the cosh for a lot of the match because of good English bowling, very tight bowling. They've added exactly 100 today in 90 minutes of play, and we've lost about 7 or 8 minutes for various blows to fingers and arms. And now Lee, with just 7 required, is back on strike. He is 39, Kasparovich 20. Flintoff can still win the game here. Maybe with this ball. He bowls to Lee. Lee forward. He's taken on the pad. Ouch! As he hobbles off towards the non-striker's end for another single. The ball wobbling away out towards square leg. 9 for 276. He got a nick onto the pad.
Probably glove. He hasn't used the bat too much recently. It's mostly parts of his body in his gloves.
It has been a brave innings. And there's one to come in this over. Has the game slipped away from England? Well, Flintoff again comes in. He bowls to Kasparovich. Kasparovich gets a lifting ball and he misses it outside the off stump. The crowd were up. Bill Frindle was almost out of his chair. He thought, oh, there's the nick, but he missed it. And Australia is still there with a chance. They need 6. England just that 1 wicket. This partnership, 56 runs added for the last wicket, with Kasparovich 20 and Lee on 40, and Harmison is going to come up for what could be, one way or another, the last over of the match.
Oh, I thought Kasparovich had got something on that. We're sitting just at the back of First Slip's head here, low down, and to me, it looked like it deviated a bit. I thought he was gone, and Flintoff probably quite appropriately had taken the last wicket, but he'd missed it. And the game's still about. I'm going to rush out back to tie if I can. I know what the odds are.
If you're waiting for the shipping forecast, we are delaying it. So keep listening, Ancient Mariners. Here comes Harmison. He runs in and bowls to Lee. Lee comes forward, digs out a Yorker. Yes, he says, let's have the single. Just topped it away. Now Vaughan's got some calls to make here. He's got to bring the field in.
We have to. You can't keep giving away singles when it's single figures to win. That Peterson out on the deep cover boundary last over with Harmison bowling to Kasparovich. He played a forward defence of a perfectly good delivery. They got a single. He's mid on and mid off. But you can't give away singles here. Get me around and put some pressure on the Australians. Get the field in, get some catches in. The game's on the line here. You can't be defensive. If they want to hit you over the head for 4 to win this game, fine. But get some people in there and take some catches, save some runs.
5 to win. Harmison bowls and he tries to turn. Maybe just pulled out of the ball, pushing down the leg side at Kasparovich. 9 for 277. And that's the joy of watching this game. It always surprises you. Well, it can surprise you. It surprised us today. It surprised us from the moment we arrived on Thursday morning, and then all of a sudden McGrath was out rolling his ankle on a ball. But now Australia, 4 to tie, 5 to win. Harmison bowls, pitching up, and he digs it out. That was well played. And Harmison thought he had the wicket there.
Oh, well bowled.
He puts his hands on his head because he can't quite believe that Michael Kasparovich was able to get his bat down on that Yorker at the last millisecond and keep it out of his pads and his stumps.
With the barest of inside edges. Come on, Hummy, you can bowl slower ball, my man. It worked so well last night. Have you got the courage to bowl the slower ball here?
4 to tie, 5 to win again. Harmison bowls, and it's down the leg side, and he gets out of the way of it. Kasparovich saw the line, didn't like that, and let it go through. And there's some composure out there from the experienced Kasparovich and Brett Lee. This has been an amazing last wicket partnership, and the cue came from Shane Warne, who prior to this had added 45 precious runs with Lee. Harmison goes in again to try and win the game. Kasparovich leaves alone outside the off stump. Well, he's getting better with every ball, it seems. That was just outside the line.
half an hour ago, he may have been playing at it. Now, he's seeing them well enough to leave that alone.
That's a very good leave. In fact, I think it left him off the pitch as well.
1 ball to come in the over. It's 9 for 277. The tension's almost unbearable. Harmison goes in and bowls. It's pitched up and it's dug out to Gully and to Strauss to complete the over. Kasparovich has done it again. He survived. And it'll be Brett Lee. And the crowd applauding here. Will this be the last act of the game from Flintoff, who has to be the man of the match, whatever occurs here with his stellar all-round efforts. But he's got the ball in his hand, the game to be won at 9 for 277. 4 to tie, 5 to win.
And it's moments like these that the champions stand up, and Flintoff's had a champion game. There's no doubt about that. But both he and Harmison look tired. They had long spells. They had long spells yesterday, and they look really... I think that the pitch has almost been burned up. If Flintoff doesn't win here, I have Jones on at this end.
Flintoff running into bowl to Lee. Lee gets a bouncer, and he gets out of the way of it. There was another threatening ball for a moment, but Lee saw the length and got out of harm's way. And he has copped a number of deliveries on the fingers, up on his elbow. He's prodding away at the pitch down there. Everyone feeling anxious, nervous. What will the outcome be? Well, stay with us, particularly those of you on the high seas. Now, it's Flintoff again, running in. He bowls to Lee. Lee gets another short ball and just fades away from the line of it, watching it go through. He's a bit been wary of the uppercut to third man.
But it's a risky plot from Flintoff because he gets it fine. Fine or square, it beats the third man. It's 4 and the game's a tie. Is it a wicket-taking delivery? I think a wicket-taking is much more likely to be a good length and off stump. I've probably said that several times this morning.
Well, to get up a cut at the 6, I suppose. That's the other option. But he's having a close look at the moment. Flintoff comes up again. Lee gets another bouncer. Flies over his helmet. He just got out of the way of that. So that's 3 short balls in a row. What's he building up to here? Lee's ducking and weaving like a boxer on the ropes. But a boxer who's got the counterpunch. And Flintoff, full of fury, hurling himself at the batsman here. And Lee withstanding him on 41. 9 for 277. What a finish this is. Flintoff tears up and bowls. Lee gets another short ball and gets out of the way of it. Well, when does it become intimidation in view of the umpire?
Well, only one has gone over his shoulder by the umpire's judgment. That's probably right. I don't think the others have been too hot. Well, there's the intimidation law still exists. It will not be invoked here, James.
I wouldn't have thought.
He's 41 not out, and Flintoff's bowling quick. This is about bowler versus batsman. We don't want any ridiculous laws of the game interfering.
Well, he's ducked and weaved for 4 balls. Here comes Flintoff for the 5th. He bowls to Lee. Lee's beaten outside the off stump. He flashed at that. That was almost again the ball that won the game for England as he flirted with it outside the off stump. So 5 balls survived or evaded more by Lee in this over.
Wow, that was another close nick. But if he nicks it and goes through third slip, they've got Trescothick standing at second. He's not really a truth, maybe first and a half, and a gap between there and fourth. If the winning nick goes through there, oof.
Last ball of the over. Flintoff runs into Lee. Lee comes forward, gets it off the glove, drops his bat and takes a single. Again, he's copped one on the fingers. But Australia only need 4 to win. And Lee will have the strike. 4 runs to win at 9 for 278. And I just wonder if he's going to have 2 100% hands at the end of this innings. You think there'd have to be a broken bone in there somewhere, but it's been a very brave effort. He's 42, equal top score, and Harmison is going to bowl here with just 4 required for an improbable Australian victory.
Well, I think Brett Lee will be feeling no pain if he hits the winning runs. Well, at least they can insert him one of those ice baths with a head down and put him upside down will probably work. But now it gets down to one hit, and now the game can go anywhere. One edge, one good delivery from Steve Harmison.
Harmison goes up, and Lee chases a full toss and hits it hard for cover. Just a single out there. Harmison probably looking for a Yorker, over-pitched. And they've got the protection on the boundary out there, so it's down to 3 to win. Tie comes into the discussion now, I suppose, as a possibility.
2 to tie, 3 to win. But they want a couple of no balls here. Right, going for the wing run, Frindle suggesting. That would be somewhat almost fitting, I think.
Now, Harmison to Kasparovich. 2 to tie, 3 to win. He goes up and bowls in. Kasparovich is back and across. No, he says, very calmly, as he pushed the ball out to Michael Vaughan, who'd be anything but calm there on the offside. And they're running about in the field here with 2 slips in the gully. They've got the protection at third man, deep cover, mid-off, mid-on, a square leg, and that long leg. England striving for this last wicket. They've been doing that for a while. Harmison comes up and bowls, and Kasparovich goes back and parries one as he caught down the leg side. There's an appeal for a catch. He's out. England have won. England have won by 2 runs.
Wow, what a finish. What an incredible test match. That is astonishing stuff. And quite fittingly, Steve Harmison takes the winning wicket, and Geraint Jones takes a very good catch down the leg side. What a phenomenal test match.
Amazing finish. Billy Bowden waited for a moment, and the England players are surrounding themselves and slapping each other on the back. Flintoff came over and shook Brett Lee's hand. Both the Australian batsmen just stood there, dumbfounded for a moment or two that the game could have ended like that. They got so close. It would have been a miraculous win. And at the death, Harmison has produced a lifting ball down the leg side that's brushed Kasparovich's glove. Jones has taken the catch. England have levelled the series in the most dramatic fashion here. They've won the test match by just 2 runs. Australia all out for 279.